With just 3 races to go and no fewer than 16 drivers still eligible for the Season 5 Championship, the ABB FIA Formula E Championship has brought emissions-free racing to the streets of Switzerland's capital and World Heritage treasure, Bern. Welcome to the Julius Baer Swiss E-Prix. I'm Bob Barsha. We have a totally new circuit that will test these all-electric race cars at none before. Now, let's join lead race commentator Jack Nichols and 3-time Indy 500 champion Dario Franchitti.
Thank you very much, Bob. The grid is set. The fans are in their seats. And this is a look at how they form up ahead of the Bern race. Jean-Eric Vergne is on pole position. The championship leader is looking for a good afternoon to really cement that advantage at the top. Mitch Evans is second for Jaguar. Third on the left-hand side, Sebastian Buemi at his home race. On the right-hand side, for Mahindra, it's Pascal Wehrlein. And then in 5th place is the first of the Geox Dragons.
And an impressive lap in the Dragon for the youngest driver on the grid, Maxi Günther.
Alongside him in 6th position is Sam Bird. He is also in the top 5 in the championship. Well, actually, he's down in 11th place. He previously led the championship, but he wants to try and haul himself back into contention if he can get a good result today. 7th on the grid, Daniel Abt. 8th is Andre Lotterer. He's 3rd in the standings coming into this race. And then it's Robin Freins in the other Envision. He's in the top 5 in the championship in 5th spot. Behind him, a good performance from Alexander Lin in his Panasonic Jaguar racing car, and a little bit of a disappointed Jerome D'Ambrosio, qualifying 11th on the grid. Felipe Massa will start 12th in the Venturi, and then it is going to be Felipe Massa right ahead of Oliver Rowland in the other Nissan Edams. Then it's the next Dragon, and that is Jerome D'Ambrosio. That is Jose Maria Lopez, and he is just in front of Stoffel Van Dorn for HWA.
And we've seen some great qualifying performance from Stoffel Van Dorn, unfortunately not today though.
Then we've got Gary Paffett behind in the next HWA. Alexander Sims starts down in 17th place on the grid. Eduardo Mortara, another Swiss racer, is 18th. But the second place man in the championship is 19th on the grid.
Yeah, second place in the championship for Lucas Di Grassi. If he wants to stay in contention for the championship, he needs to make a lot of progress forward today.
Antonio Felix da Costa is 4th in the championship. He looks like he's running into trouble as well. And then the 2 Neos are at the back. Tom Dillman just out qualifying his teammate Oliver Turvey. They are in for a tough afternoon. The Neo team really struggling for any sort of speed. So the cars are lined up on the dummy grid. They'll now make their way around to the actual grid. And this really feels like it's going to be a big afternoon in the ABB FIA Formula E Championship Season 5, because it just feels as though this is Vergne's opportunity. He'll either take it or he won't. Either way, it'll be dramatic.
Yeah, Vergne and Bern. He's got to keep the pressure on. He's got Lucas Di Grassi on the ropes at the moment. He's got to keep that pressure on, put him under absolutely make him make a mistake. Just put him in that position where he does something uncharacteristic and make a mistake. If you're Di Grassi, you've got to try and score points today to keep the championship outcome in your hands. Otherwise, Vergne's got to make a mistake for you to still be in contention.
Jean-Eric Vergne leads the championship, 9 points ahead of Lucas Di Grassi. Vergne is on 105, Di Grassi is on 96, then it's 10 points back to Andre Lotterer on 86. And you can see the crowd are 8, 9 deep at certain points around this circuit. There's not a huge amount for places for grandstands, but there's plenty to get up against the fence and see the action around this circuit, Dario.
And here we see the track, 2.75 kilometers, steeply downhill. From turn 2, 3 and 4 is an absolutely critical corner because it's steeply back uphill past the beer garden. Through turn 6, long corner. Hairpin 7 and 8 past the attack mode activation zone. It's a nice little series of corners, 9, 10, 11. Up the start straight, very bumpier, over another crest, downhill braking 12, 13, 14. And that is a lap of the Bern circuit.
So this is going to be a fascinating race. You can see them down at the bottom here. This is where they have the bear pit. Over there on the right-hand side, all the hospitality suites are there as well. Everybody crammed in to try and get a viewing spot. It's an absolutely stunning spectacle, and you're right about fan boost. Effie picked up a Cannes Lion for attack mode in the Innovation in Sport Entertainment category, beating the likes of the NBA and Nike, and attack mode, Bob, today could be crucial.
Absolutely, it could. The drivers cannot go all out the entire distance of this race. 45 minutes plus 1 lap. They're going to have to regenerate. They're going to have to monitor energy very carefully while They're attacking each other on this quick and narrow circuit.
And the weather now, Dario, is beautiful. This is different to anything they've raced before as well. Here's the top 3 in the championship at the moment. Verne on 105, De Grassi second on 96, third is Andre Lotterer. For my money, the champion is coming out of someone in the top 5. I would include De Coster and Freins in that battle, but with Verne leading the way and starting on pole, it's tough to look past him.
Absolutely, he's done it before. He's our current champion. He has got the chance today to just put a bit of distance between himself and the pursuing pack, and he's starting in the right place to do it. I think attack mode is going to be key for overtaking today, as is fan boost.
Well, Mitch Evans told us earlier he thinks you can pass on this track. That means guys will be taking chances, diving into every opportunity. That should mean some pretty exciting racing. Otherwise, you've got a parade and no real change in the championship standings. I think what we're going to see is those standings take a beating.
De Grassi has got to take risks. That's the thing. He's got to take risks to get from 19 up into the points, and that's not a good place to be.
Off the line, there's a few curves, a few crests before you get to that first corner, which is going to be a tricky little chicane.
It's a downhill braking zone. It's bumpy, it's narrow, and it's a really interesting first corner, I'll tell you what. If they all get through there without any damage, I will be amazed.
45 minutes plus 1 lap of racing, 2 attack modes to be used, and this is the view from Lucas de Grassi from so far back in the pack. The championship protagonist starts in 19th place, all the way behind the pole sitter, his title rival, Jean-Eric Verne.
Look how far out the cars are spaced either side of the grid. If you're going to try and pass somebody off the start, you're going to have to go into the middle, because they're not going to give you that gap between the wall and the car. It's just not big enough.
Jean-Eric Verne, championship leader on the front row. Mitch Evans is alongside him. Lucas de Grassi is all the way at the back. Hashtag Swiss E-Prix. We are about to go racing in Bern. Wait for those 5 red lights. Verne versus Evans on the run down. All 5 lights are on. And we go green in Bern. Good start from Verne. He should be able to hold the lead. Sam Bird's got an excellent start, looking to the outside, and there goes Buemi up the inside. Can he get past Mitch Evans and up into second place? Here they come into the first chicane now. Evans tries to hang on. Freins is in the wall and facing backwards. Robin Freins collides even on the way in, and we got a traffic jam at the first chicane. Pascal Wehrlein is in the wall. That's Alex Lynn facing the wrong way. Through comes Alexander Sims trying to get through. Lucas de Grassi has made it through, so that could give him a lot of places. It all went wrong there with Pascal Wehrlein. We haven't got any message that there's a safety car or a red flag yet, so to me these guys are still racing, but I don't think they are at the moment.
And you can see the Mahindra is jacked up at the back and it's jammed between the car behind it and the safer barrier, the Tech Pro barrier ahead of it.
So these guys are all going slowly. There's still no signs of a yellow flag. There's the red flag now, but until that point, they were all being quite sort of generous with one another, and everyone now will try and avoid this this carnage here.
So you've got to stop. If you take the shortcut, you have to stop. That's why all the guys are stopping and coming to a halt.
So Verne in first. So did Evans hold on to second? Yes, he did. Buemi is in third position. So the red flag, as you'll see on the top left, means the clock stops. The drivers aren't going to be able to. They may be able to get back to the pit lane. I'm not sure. Hopefully this should clear fairly quickly, because actually once the red flag comes out, everyone can kind of work themselves free, and off they go. De Grassi up into 8th place, Bob.
Well, I was just watching his teammate Daniel Abt, who was in the midst of that scrum, and he looks like he came away with virtually no damage. Not so these guys.
Real shame for Maxi Günther, actually, because he had qualified very, very well in 5th position. Here's a look at the start.
Look at the white car, about 4 or 5 back, Maxi Günther.
Does he just send one coming into the chicane?
He has a little look, and then the Mahindra turns across. No? Mahindra had to slow down. It's weird.
I'm not quite sure what happened there, actually. That was a little bit of a strange one. Here's a replay again. And Evans did well to actually hold that second place, because it was Buemi who got the best start.
Verme was a bit slow in the jump on the lights.
Bird has got caught out in all of this. He's dropped down to 17th position. Here they come then to watch for the red, white and blue Mahindra again. Freins was sent spinning. Oh, he just got, yeah.
Buemi kind of squeezed him a little bit. No, not on purpose, but squeezed him into the wall, and then Günther spun him round.
Oh, here we go. This is the view from Robin Freins, because this may well have wiped him out of championship contention, to be honest. He's alongside Andre Lotterer.
He's braking, he's
lifting. Little turn to the left on the brakes, everything's fine.
And that was a hit, he just got hit, yeah.
But he was a long way over to the right there. It wasn't.
No, somebody obviously just misjudged it. But again, we've got a better view than the drivers have because the camera is on the top of that roll hoop.
Yeah.
It's about 30 centimeters plus higher than the driver's eye line. So we had a much better view of that start than any of the drivers would.
Yeah, so Andre Lotterer has been in the pits. He's had to change his front wing because that got damaged in that incident. Yeah, we'll have to have a look again.
Interesting.
I'm sure.
They're stopping the field on the racetrack and not in the pits. Even though there is cleanup to do. Yeah, there's Andre Lotterer.
The timing screen says he's been in the pits, but he's still got a broken front wing. So I doubt they would have pitted him if... Oh, the red flag presumably came out, so perhaps they can't then work on the car in the pits. They've then got to work on it here.
And the pit lane is long here. If you go down that pit lane, it's going to cost you a lot of time. Anybody gets a drive through today, they're in all kinds of trouble.
There is Techeetah waiting. Now, Freitz has a drive shaft. The drive shaft is broken for the Virgin Racing team, so that's him out. And Sam Bird has a puncture, and he's down in 17th position. So the drivers can't get around to the pit lane at the moment. So once this blockage is moved, I imagine the cars will go round to the pit lane.
See Verline, sorry, getting out, Jack.
Yeah, reset, and then head off again behind the safety car. But, well, we thought that first chicane was going to be a pinch point, and it certainly was. Maxi Gunter still in the car. The drivers are basically instructed to stay in the cars until they can get out of the cars, or rather until they're instructed to get out of the cars. But yeah, a real mess at the first corner, and well,
there's two separate things going on, wasn't there? There was the accident with Verline.
Damage?
Grassi has no damage. He was asked there by his engineer, Marcus Mickelberger.
Yeah, so there's two separate accidents. There was the Gunther Verline accident, and then there was the Robin Freins one when he got hit from behind. Not sure who hit him from behind yet, but just I guess people just unsighted on that run up to to turn 12 on the first lap, and people lifting off in front. That you get that concertina effect, and you see the result.
Beautiful view down on the River Ara.
God,
And that is
stunning,
Old Town Barron.
It's so stunning.
Wonderful colour, the river.
Yeah.
Why is that, Jack?
Do you want to know why?
Yes, please.
Because it's glacial water. It's from water trickles down from the glacier, and that's why it's so blue. Right, here's a look at the start review. Let's try and see if we can figure out what happened with Robin Freins this time. So he's in the second Purple Envision Virgin Racing car. He's on the outside of the black and gold Techeetah with Andre Lotterer. He's alongside him. They come through the left-hander. The Techeetah goes through, and then, oh, D'Ambrosio just fully plants into the back of him.
Yeah.
Oh, and then D'Ambrosio has a go into the back of Daniel Abt as well.
Wow. That was clearly a misjudgment.
This is the view from Robin Freins, because you couldn't figure out.
You listen to Robin, he's feathering the throttle a little bit too, and that allows the Mahindra behind to catch him. This is allowing the Mahindra to get closer. Brakes now, bash. And poor Alex Lynn taken out again, but at least he doesn't appear to have damage, so hopefully he can keep going.
Yeah, Lynn appears to have got through into 12th place. This is on board with Degrassi then.
What a start from Degrassi, but look how it narrows up.
So then what's going to happen here? Well, we know what's going to happen here, but what's the view for Degrassi?
Yeah, but watch the traffic jam on the left where Freins is parked. Good. Oh, lovely piece of driving just to get through.
Yeah.
That's Alex Lynn on the left.
And then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Degrassi's
6.
pushing the guy in front. He's thinking, come on, this is amazing.
Everybody wants to stop at the chicane. Except Degrassi.
If they let them start in those positions again, Degrassi would bang a lottery ticket tonight.
But then that was the one where Degrassi then went to go past Mortara. This is the view on board with Buemi, but then Degrassi bailed out of it, even though the red flag wasn't actually flown.
Watch. We've got the other car on the left.
Good stuff from Evans.
Yeah, we had the Mahindra just on the left-hand side, and trying to go through there too wide, that sort of fed Verline into the Tech Pro barrier.
As you pointed out, Dario, they start so close to the walls on the grid.
Look at Da Costa just thought, no, I'm having none of this. He's lifting already. He's being, discretion the better part of valor. All this smoke, look at that.
And then he just follows Lucas Degrassi through.
Yeah.
Weirdly, there was a red flag waving there at the, which was the first.
He took it in. Look, the marshal just took the red flag in.
Okay, so that was an accidental wave.
Yeah.
But I think that's why.
This is race control.
Here we go.
This is race control.
Scott Elkins.
Here's what's going to happen now, guys. We're going to send the safety car out. The safety car will lead the field to pit lane. Everybody follows the safety car to the pit exit, and then we'll sort out the order from there. We're going to use the start order because we didn't have any timelines between there and the start line.
Oh.
So the grid order is how we will start, unless your cars are out.
Okay. So all those places made up by Lucas Di Grassi up into 8th place are cancelled, and
It's not
now,
surprising, Jack.
I mean, I get why, but well, anyway.
I think that's standard procedure, isn't it? That's the standard.
We should do a full restart.
Yeah,
to me,
precisely.
from on the grid, but maybe that's a bit overkill.
Here's Verline into the pit lane.
So they get to work on the Mahindra. So Verline's managed to get through all that, get out of that, and then he's going to be in 4th place at the restart.
Have another go. Yeah.
Unless...
Shades of Dale Earnhardt at Daytona. Gets out of a wrecked car, takes a look at it, says, well, I think I could still drive that. Gets back in, drives it around.
These guys are just fixing the diffuser at the back underneath. That's the aerodynamic underfloor of the car. A lot of the grip is produced by that part. Gunther looks like he's good to go.
Substantially undamaged.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of our Rome race where we had a big early wreck, red flag, all to the pits. But I think they had some timing and scoring information to help reset the field.
Reminds me of Rome, Hong Kong.
We have had a few red flags,
we had,
haven't we?
5 red flags at one point this season?
Mexico City. So when the race starts again, we'll have 44 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Here's a replay. Oh, goodness me.
Now watch the second row. You see the silver Nissan. Watch the Mahindra to his outside.
So that red, white and blue car.
Red, white and blue car, yeah. Now as they turn in, Wemmy's all over the curb. He's bounced across the curb. Verline's put the car in there, and you see him just get squeezed in.
Buemi's squeezed him in, yeah.
But not on purpose.
No, but that's where it's come from.
Yeah. And then look at, there's chaos for you.
Right. At that point, Verline kind of became the liver and the nutcracker. Yeah. He couldn't go anywhere, and nobody had a way to get around
so
him.
much you can be gained on these starts. That's why everybody's just pushing so hard. You can gain 2 or 3 spots. That might take the rest of the race to gain that many. So some of the guys throwing caution to the wind. You know, we're talking about the championship guys, the championship protagonists. Other guys are driving for their job. Other guys driving to, they want to get, you know, look at other teams to look at them. Everybody wants to win.
So there's the Drivers' Championship coming into this race, which we are now effectively going to reset, it seems, with Verne ahead of Di Grassi by 9 points, then Lotter, Da Costa, Freins. So Freins, I think, I would say that's put him out of championship contention realistically.
Yeah, gotta say. And there's nothing, nothing different he could have done.
So now the safety car will take them back to the pit lane. Then they will reorder in the pit lane.
All teams
let's
follow the safety car to pit lane.
Yeah, so they'll follow the safety car.
Follow the safety car. Line up in the fast lane, please. Line up in the fast lane.
There is Scott Elkins, the race director, in the middle there.
If they're the Audi team at the moment, they're probably having to calm down a fairly irate Lucas Di Grassi, probably asking, why is this happening? I've made up all these places. These guys made mistakes. I didn't. I would imagine that's something like the conversation that's going on.
So the issue is going to be, like, the guys who got through the chaos is sort of fair enough, but all those guys queued up behind, I mean, how do you decide who starts where in that?
I think this is the only fair way to do it. As Scott Elkins put it, there was no timelines. They didn't cross the timeline to give them the revised order.
Yeah.
So it's the only fair way to do it. Somebody's scraping a lot. Is that
Lotter?
Yeah,
Lotter's
car,
at the back.
Look at that, yeah.
But they'll change that front wing in 10 seconds or so, and he'll be back on his way and back up the front of the order.
Again, this is why qualifying up front just makes things a little easier. You tend not to get caught up in these situations.
Well, while repairs commence, let's get down to Vernon Kay.
Thanks, Bob. Yeah, I'm here with Robin Frines. Robin, have you any idea what happened?
I just had a proper start. I was behind Daniel. Andre was left of me. I braked similar as Daniel, similar as Andre, and I just got a massive hit from behind, and I just lost the car. I mean, there's always something, and qualifying, maybe we're not the best in qualifying, but we're always up there, and there's always something else, so I have no words for it.
Leon, any report on the car?
I think Sam's going to bring the car back now. It seems like he's got a puncher, so hopefully we can get him back out. And it sounds like they're going to reorder the grid as it was on the starting grid, because obviously a lot of cars got through the wreckage and made up a lot of places. So I'm hoping that we get the car back out and we can start again on 6th place. But obviously for Robin, it looks like his race is over.
Robin, unfortunately, like Leon said, the race is over for yourself, and the championship now seems out the window. Awfully bad luck. Nothing to say, really.
No, since Paris, everything went downhill. 3 non-finishes, and in this championship, if you have 3 non-finishes, you're pretty much out of the championship. Yes, but yeah, I mean, it's not in my hands. Still try to do the best thing I can do in New York. Hopefully, beat Toeters on the podium or fight for the victories, and maybe we'll see what happens.
All right, thank you, Robin. Thank you, Leon.
Robin Frines, Mitch Evans, Jerome D'Ambrosio, Sam Bird and Eduardo Mortara. None of them have been on the podium after they won a race. They won a race at various points of the season, haven't been on the podium since. Mad.
It is.
So there's the new front wing for good insight.
Andre Lotterer.
Yeah,
thanks.
for Andre Lotterer. And they will swap that fairly comfortably. So that means it'll...
No, yes, because not correct.
We told you.
We had, everything was completely wrecked. No, we completed the lap. We completed the start-finish lap. There was 8 guys who crossed 9. Yeah, but we sorted everything because there was a big mess in the first chicane, and this order is completely lost.
But you guys deployed the red flag in lap 1, so you should keep the order of lap 1.
No, we keep that. We keep
that. But this is wrong.
No, it's correct.
It's completely wrong.
This is we will not.
Yeah, but it's completely wrong.
Lucas, we will not argue
I
with that
understand,
now.
but it's completely wrong.
No, everybody.
The order is this.
Yeah, it's completely
If they
wrong.
make a mistake, they make a mistake.
Exactly.
This order is not correct. I'm trying to fix it.
No, it's not. It's not.
Lucas. Hey, everybody now gets back to his car. Everybody gets now back to his car. Guys,
They make a mistake, they make a mistake. You have the order here. The order is here.
it's not. The order is completely wrong.
You are completely wrong, man. You cannot do that.
Philippe,
No, I'm sorry. I never saw that in my life, man. You have the start to have the corner.
do not start a discussion now. Just follow the instructions. Get back to your car that we can sort it out.
Exactly, we're just downhill, so
I mean, some get lucky, some get
I think we should apologise for the language in advance, just in case.
I was about to say, cover your ears if you don't like strong language, because there's going to be a lot of it out there.
I bet that's Scott Elkins that Alan McNish is on the phone to.
I don't think my phone's not ringing, so it's not me.
Yeah.
I mean, well, he's on board with Lucas de Graaf.
But did they cross the first timeline before the red flag came out?
Yeah, to me they were down at the bottom of the circuit. I mean,
But the first timeline is exit of 5.
well, exactly. I think this is where the confusion is coming, because the first timing line is here after the chicane. You know, the red flag was there, but it was wrongly flown and it was then brought back in.
But there is a timeline at the finish line. You're absolutely right.
There's a timeline here. So that's the argument, is there we have crossed the timing line.
we crossed the line. Yeah, there was a line to see the order, the start-finish line. Who hit you?
Yeah, but the finish line is...
but
If they go back to the start
what I will say, the caveat to this, well, let's listen. Oh, it's Portuguese. The caveat to this is
No TV stuff. No TV.
that
trying to keep an irate driver calm.
when there's a situation like
coverage.
this, the end of the first lap is actually the second time you go past the timing line. When we have races with the offset, it's not the first time you go past it.
Yep.
That was not one lap they did, obviously. That was a bit of a lap, and then you do a lap, and then that's the end of the first lap, technically. So I have some sympathy on that point of view, but honestly, I have a lot of sympathy for the guys who made it through a red flag accident, got through, no problem. They've got an order.
I agree, but what about the guys who got caught, who were complete innocent
that's racing,
victims?
isn't it? That's racing.
Yeah.
You get caught up in an accident.
It's Nicolas Lapierre in the white shirt, veteran racing driver, and now a team manager, I believe, in endurance sports cars.
And we're not just talking about the race today. This has championship implications.
Oh, huge!
Oh yeah, massive.
So
he's probably saying, no, go back to the original order.
he's getting his Scott Elkins banner out. And
This
scarf.
is interesting. There's two of the most emotional drivers
So look,
in the pit lane.
This is the argument here that they're making. Look, that is the timing line here at the front, this blue line. The yellow flags are waving there. Degrassi, this is what I was saying. Degrassi went to overtake Mortara, then didn't. But at this point, there's no red flag.
No, they're
the
still
race
racing.
is still going on. So that's their argument. As we cross that timing line, there is a fair way to reset the order. So do it, is their argument. Scott Elkins' argument is, well, no, because once the red flag came out, how do you decide everyone else? Because then they would start everyone in the order in which they managed to get out of the pilot.
I hate to take a cop out here, but I can see both sides of this, and I have been in both sides of it, unfortunately. But what happens in this situation is drivers wind up other drivers. So DaCosta's going to be winding up Degrassi. He's going to get more and more irate. These guys are sort of just laughing about it.
Because whatever happens, he's at the front of the grid.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, whatever.
He's starting the race behind the safety car. Great.
Now we've got a steward's indication that the incident at turn 13 is under investigation.
I mean, I would suggest that may just be at the very minimum, D'Ambrosio getting a penalty.
They're still winding each other up.
Yeah. Both speaking Portuguese.
This is the point where some of the teams are up in the paddock area, which is, what, 3/4 of a mile away? And they're going to feel really disconnected from what's going on and the politicking and everything that is happening
on TV.
And that's why maybe Alan McNish is making a phone call rather than going to see whoever he's trying to
Right, because they're 3/4 of a mile away.
Yeah.
Well, it gives us another opportunity to see this beautiful view of Old Town Bern.
And the fan zone is all the way up that lovely main street. There's all kinds of manufacturers and sponsors have got their tents
See all
there.
the tents.
I'd see it again.
So, I mean, the big trouble, France got spun around.
Attention all teams. Please have drivers back in cars. Please have drivers back in cars so we can get the order sorted. Please get your drivers back in the cars so we can get the order sorted. The order is the grid order. The order is the grid order. Everyone knows this order, so please start helping us put your cars in grid order on pit lane, please. Help us get your cars in grid order on pit lane. Car 6 and car 94, we will send out ahead of the field and have them start at the back.
That's Gunther and Verline.
Okay, so that was something I was going to raise earlier, was whether the guys who caused the red flag are just going to be allowed to start in 4th and 5th again. And the answer is no, they will be starting at the back. So they're going to line up in grid order. And that's Scott Elgin saying, this is the situation.
Get in the cars and stop arguing with us, I think is the subtext there. Got to feel for Robin
That was the on-board of Robin France.
Yeah, just hit.
I kind of feel for this massive crowd who turned up to see the race.
Yeah. Well, they've seen some action already. But we're about to go green again. And it's all going to kick off some more.
Now, as for the 45-minute clock, no doubt time will be added to the end of the race to make up for the discrepancy.
The clock stops now, doesn't it?
Right. Well, I think that rule comes into effect, was just passed, just approved. It comes into effect next season. That the clock will stop under the red flag.
This is the point where Buemi looks in his mirror and goes, where did everybody go?
Yeah, what on earth happened there? Yeah. But then actually, when you think about a sort of regular race, you think of the Brazilian Grand Prix of 2003 that was red flag.
Not normally, no, I don't.
But you will, because it was a vintage one. But the you know, it's taken back from the lap before the red flag as well. Often that is a rule too.
Ah,
so,
yes,
isn't it? Because that was the one where Fisichella and Kimi Raikkonen won. That red flag came out and then was taken immediately back in, because that can only have been.
I think that was a marshal taking things into their own hands.
Individual initiative.
So grid order is the decision. Grid order is the final choice, and unless Lucas de Grassi, you know, does a protest or something.
Do you know what I like about Verne's attitude here? He's dealing with the stuff he can control. He's not getting all worried about, whether de Grassi gets an advantage or doesn't. He's just thinking, I'm just going to drive my car, do my best. Whatever happens to them, I have no, you know, no part of that fight.
Send him behind Günther to the pit exit. Okay. At the 3-minute signal, we send you for 1 lap, and then back to the pit lane with you behind. Okay.
And then this is harsh, because actually, you know what? That's harsh on Günther. Because I would say that wasn't Günther's fault in any way.
I would agree.
Günther didn't hit.
No, Günther, they're precisely right. The Wehrlein Buemi accident happened, and Günther was, I think, just a bystander.
Like everyone else was.
Yeah.
So that's really, really harsh on Maxi Günther.
Yeah. Great start again from de Grassi. That was quite spectacular.
So this is where he's coming down into the first chicane.
He's giving himself some outs. He's not going fully alongside, then it stops in front of him.
And then he goes through. Now he will have seen this little red flag flying here, which was then immediately whipped in. Whoops,
but he didn't see that. He was already past it when it got whipped in.
Correct. So he then goes, right, I'll nail Mortara, because there's been, and then they're like, oh, hang on, did we see a red flag?
Yeah, precisely.
And then they're looking around, and there's no red flags anywhere.
Look at his head. He's looking around going, what's going on? What's going on? Is there a red flag?
Are we red flag? Are we safety car? So then to me, I think it's down at the bottom that the red flags come out. When he comes down to turns 3, 4, and 5, the chicane.
Watch the marshals. Yep, there you go. It is. Yeah, so they hadn't reached the first timeline. Yep.
They have not reached the end of the first sector, correct?
Yes. Right. And the first timeline is just about, you'll see it
going up the hill.
Yeah, about right there.
Hey. And you're right, Jack, the clock did stop.
Yeah.
Now let's go down to Vernon.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. James, first of all, both cars are okay, both Jag cars?
Yeah, absolutely. So we got through that one, which is good.
Can you understand, I mean, you and I watched the furore that was going on, mainly led by Lucas de Grassi. Do you understand his point, what he was saying about the FIA's decision to realign everyone up?
Oh, it's very tricky in these situations, right? You have to basically look at the raw ingredients of what's happened, and I think the FIA have called that fundamentally the drivers that cut through the chicane, there was a yellow flag at that corner, so in a way they're overtaking under a yellow flag. You know, I appreciate that point. You think, right, we actually gained the position, but I think they've called it back on the basis that overtaking under yellow flag is not allowed. So, yeah, it's frustrating from a driver's point of view, but I think that's probably a right application of the regulation.
Extremely frustrating for the drivers, but extremely entertaining for us who stood and watched it all explode, pretty much.
Yeah, we said, didn't we, just before the start, that turn 1, that chicane was going to be incredibly tight, and sure enough, you know, it delivered what we thought would happen. I said most likely be a safety car right at the start, so it's very tight. You know, if one person doesn't quite behave, you get that concertina effect.
Yeah, okay, the atmosphere down here, guys, is as thick as my grandma's gravy. Back to you.
Gravy, for those of you international people, is I don't even know, actually. How would I describe gravy? Like a sort of meat sauce? Like a meat sauce?
Meat juices and flour.
Oh, okay. I've never made... Have you made gravy?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it wasn't a thing in America.
I was a home economics major.
Oh, really?
There's a look at the Parliament House.
I thought you were a lawyer.
He's done everything. He's done everything.
I'm a jack of many, you know what.
I'm just a jack. So,
beautiful building.
You may know Switzerland does not have an official capital, but because the federal parliament, if that's the right phrase, sits here in Bern, Bern is the de facto capital of Switzerland.
Yes, they call it the Federal City or something.
Federal City, exactly. And that was Federal Plaza.
So, what are the drivers thinking right now? What's going through their heads? I would imagine it really depends on where they're sitting. Again, Bern looks fairly chilled out, fairly calm, as Evans, Buemi. From Massa back, it starts getting a bit sort of, there's guys that are feeling hard done by, especially probably Maxi Günther. Here we go.
Yes, at the moment, as it is only Freins, I think, and Wehrlein, which has a bad damage.
So that's Degrassi asking, you know, where am I going to be?
Yeah, who's out of the race?
Yeah.
Yeah, but nobody there is complaining, or you guys are complaining?
Have you met your team principal, Alan McNish? Of course he's complaining. He's fighting his corner, but the FIA make the rules, and
Attention all teams, this is race control. Attention all teams, this is race control. We will restart in 10 minutes. This is the 10-minute warning. We'll restart in 10 minutes.
So, 10-minute warning from that man, Scott Elkins. I mean, the more I think about it, my initial thought was just use that order. But the more I think about it, the more I think, you know, all they can do.
I was right.
Oh, yes, okay, fine. If you're going to have that attitude,
well, why change the habits of it?
Do lead commentary.
Oh, God, no. Oh, Gary Paffett came on the radio, but then went off. Yeah, so everybody's tension level's just been ratcheted up that little bit more. If we looked at the stress levels, they're just going to be a little higher now, because does it happen again? People are going to think they know what it's going to take to get through the chicane, make another position.
Yeah, it's tough. I think the ultimate thing with the top 8 got over the grid order as well. I was thinking this is that the cars piled up behind, the ones at the back of that pile-up got out first, so then would have been ahead.
Should be repositioning both cars. We think you should be 12 and 13, as one car is out and 2 cars will be on the back.
It's Van Dorn being told they think he's going to be 13th, and I would roughly agree with that.
Yeah, it will start 1 lap behind the safety car, as normal.
They'll restart with 1 lap behind the safety car, and then off we go. So in about 6 minutes, I can't read the clock now, 8 minutes time, we'll be getting racing, I say back underway. We had, what's that, 54 seconds of racing previously.
It was more like 10, and then the rest of it,
Yeah.
the drivers weren't sure if they were racing or not.
Indeed. And this time, when the safety, interestingly also, when the safety car comes in, that chicane won't be the first corner. It will be turn 1, which is the one that we didn't even really get to, but just the one underneath this this helicopter shot now. There's a look at the pits, which, as Bob has mentioned, are a long way down from the paddock area.
Flashing red lights are never a good thing. On the steering wheel, you see how complicated a Formula E steering wheel is. There you go, 1846 local time, 8 minutes.
Okay, so now they will reorder. Well, the teams have been told to reorder themselves, basically, because you've got the grid order. Get on with it. I feel so bad for
Maxi Gunther, yes.
Well, we have a moment. Let's catch up with our colleague Saunders.
Yeah, so down here with Mike Alcamo, Nissan team principal. Very dramatic start to the race. Give me the Nissan insight.
Well, I think everyone had some expectation that there could have been some incident. It's a pretty narrow into that chicane. We didn't expect it to be at the front. We thought maybe it'd be more towards the rear. Obviously, the block-up created even a bigger mess with cars from the back passing the front. I think there's a bit of work to sort out now, the starting order. But in the end, both our cars made it through okay, so we just hope for another clean restart and then see what we can do in the race.
We've heard a little bit of debating going on from some drivers down in the pit lane. What's your take on it? What's the fair way to start this race again?
Honestly, I believe that a restart in race order, at the start of the race order, is the correct way. I mean, they didn't even complete 2 corners. How could we really understand? We don't even have timing enough to understand where everyone was located. So I think there's really no choice.
Brilliant. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much for that, Saunders. So, yeah. Yeah. Rule 40, as we look at Sebastian Buemi there, 44 minutes and 6 seconds to go. But yeah, I think it's harsh on Gunther. I think that he has been blamed for something that wasn't necessarily his fault, but we'll wait and see whether that's the actual reason he was back or whether it's because they had to, it might be that, did they have to lift his car or marshals pulled his car? It could be something like that, potentially.
It doesn't change the fact. I think he was an innocent bystander, but yeah. Definitely harsh.
So there we see Alex Lynn. So the big winner in all of this, I suppose, is going to be, when I look at the grid, Bird, actually. Bird's the big winner. 6th on the grid. Fell all the way back to 17th with a puncture. He's now going to be running up in 6th place again. As we look down at the bridge that connects and straddles the river.
That's the Allianz E-Village, as Dario mentioned earlier, stretching right through the old town. On a beautiful Saturday afternoon, early
Saturday
summer.
evening.
Yeah, it's 20
20
to
to 7. Yeah, well, we've got a much later race today.
They do get a lot of sun in this part of the world.
What a stunning place, it really is.
There you see the paddling gates. I'm sure that's not the proper phrase, but for competitive kayak and canoe action out on the Ara. History going back more than 6 centuries.
So there's a lot of talk in the paddock this weekend. It's kind of been going on for a couple of races now about silly season, you know, who's going where next season. And you know, there's all kinds of trigger points. One being who's going to be the second Porsche driver, who's going to be the second Mercedes driver, the two manufacturers coming back in next year, who's been kept. You know, it sounds like the Envision Virgin guys are staying.
Now you see upper left of your screen, there's an area of trees and brush with very high fencing around it. That is the Bear Park, the home of a number of large brown bears that are dear to the hearts of the people of Bern.
Okay, I've got the sporting regulations. Article 40.3, any cars unable to return will be brought back when the track is cleared and arranged and ordered. Before then, blah, blah, blah. In all cases, the order will be taken at the last point at which it was possible to determine the position of all cars. So in all cases, the order will be taken from the last point at which it was possible to determine the position of all cars. All such cars will then be permitted to resume the race. So the point is there, okay, maybe you got the top 11 or 12 in order, but do you have an order for all the cars, i.e. the ones caught up in the pile-up? No. I think that's where it would come from. Just, you know, my assessment of the sporting regulations. Nowhere does it say you can decide the order for the first half and then just sort of make up the order for the second half. It's the last point you can determine all the cars. Not all the cars' position can be determined. So you restart from the last position, which is going to be the start of the race. So them's the regs.
Yeah, good summary, Jack.
Solid reasoning.
There's a bear.
Wonder who's driving for next year.
He's got it going on down there.
Is it called Julius?
Very
No,
good.
but that's a great idea.
The Julius Bear Swiss E-Prix.
Bears go back a long way.
As if by magic.
Or commerce.
So I hope you can bear this delay ahead of the restart of the race.
So that's Gunther and Verline going around to the back of the field.
Yeah, now it may be that they are a lap down. That may have been the issue there for Gunther and Verline, so that's why they have to loop back around. But still, if you're restarting it from the original spots, then I don't see why they can't retake their original position. So we'll wait and see. Or maybe not Verline, because he, you know, I suppose caused the red flag. But we'll wait and see when they come back around.
Well, if they're doing that to even out the energy expenditure, I think they have to maintain a 50 clicks per hour speed, and that looks decidedly slower to me.
And also it's worth pointing out that the top three, Verne, Evans and Buemi, they disappeared. They were going flat out for the first half lap or so. Everybody else sort of didn't move, so there may be a little bit of discrepancy there as we see Pascal Wehrlein making his way up. No one? None of you listening to me? Okay. Pascal Wehrlein.
Come on,
sorry,
guys. What are we doing here?
I was looking at some info.
Good info?
Not really.
Rich Evans there. Here comes Wehrlein.
Taking it nice and easy.
Doesn't want to use up as energy, he wants to use as little energy as he can. Here's his radio. No, not
The
quite.
guys from the Mahindra team, they're up in the paddock, again away from pit lane.
Okay, attention all teams, this is race control. In order to complete the order with the cars that were at the head of the grid, we're going to send everybody out in sections, okay? So
also, I'm getting a lot of hashtag Swiss E-Prix annoyance for my bear puns. So I will stop it now.
Well, deservedly so.
Yeah, apparently they're unbearable.
Tricked you. If you bear down.
Yeah. If only I knew different species of bears. Here's Wehrlein.
Right? Yes, confirm, yeah. Do not enter the pit lane, go directly at the pit lane exit and wait for instruction.
Okay, so maybe they will shovel Wehrlein back into his spot. Maybe they just sent them around to sort of reset that energy. There's a green flag, the safety car deployed. The clock starts ticking now. But where is Wehrlein going to wait? So, wait there, Pascal.
Stop, stop, stop.
Why has Gunther hasn't left the pits, but maybe he's at the back anyway. Oh no, there he is.
Yeah, he was out in front of
Stay here,
Wehrlein.
Pascal, stay here and wait for instruction.
And so Gunther and Wehrlein will start in their original grid position. Fantastic news. So good. I thought they were getting punished for...
guys, do me a favor. We're reorganizing the grid as you go, so please be aware. Please be aware of the official in turn 1.
I think Lucas de Grassi is going to be quite spectacular on this restart.
Oh, boy.
He is so mad.
Yeah.
And yeah, expect fireworks.
Okay, there we go. Good. So they were just resetting the two of them rather than sending them to the back, because in qualifying, for example, the car that causes the red flag isn't allowed to then restart in qualifying. So
now they're back in 4th and 5th.
So good. So we're all set then. The safety car is out, and the cars are in the right order, and let's go racing.
Get the tyres warm, get the brakes warm, and get ready to head off. Safety car lights will go out just after the attack zone. Safety car will try and gap the field, and then Jean-Eric Byrne will try and get a jump on those behind him.
So they're making their way around. The other fact I could have thrown into that red flag, but I haven't. My favourite fact about Switzerland: Helvetica, the world's most used font, invented in Switzerland in 1957.
He's got to respect the 10-car length limit. Safety car in this lap.
Did you know Bern is the home of the Toblerone candy bar?
Yes. Other candy bars are available. Other fonts are available, I guess. So there's the energy remaining. So look at like Lotterer. He's got 99% there in 8th place.
Yeah.
We have had some safety cars, so energy management is not going to be quite as vital, but the top 3, after going flat out, have a little less than everyone else who got caught up in the kerfuffle.
And the undulations of this track they're going to use it. They're going to use a lot of energy to get up those hills. The good news is, coming down the hills, you can really regenerate. This is a safety car line. Safety car's gone.
Attention all teams, this is race control. Safety car is in this lap. The grid order is correct to the starting grid. Have a safe race.
Okay, here we go then. Thank you very much for bearing with us. The safety car is about to come in.
Well, I tell you, Byrne's safety car was close.
Oh,
Byrne had to just back off a little bit.
Things up.
Yeah, I thought Evans was going into the back of him there. Evans is right behind him. Once the safety car pulls in after the chicane, Verne can floor it. There he goes. Jean-Eric Verne goes for it, restarts the race, coming down into the final corners on the circuit. Yellow flag still waving, but now they will go green. And we are underway again in Bern. Here they come down in towards turn 1 then. And finally, if you haven't been with us for qualifying or practice, we'll get to see a lap of this circuit plunging down towards the bare pit down at turns 3, 4 and 5 as the sun begins to lower just a little bit in the sky. It's Jean-Eric Verne leading, 4 tenths ahead of Mitch Evans in second place in the Jaguar. Third is Buemi, fourth is Wehrlein, fifth is Gunter, Bird, Abt, Lotterer, Lind, D'Ambrosio, the rest of the top 10. And there is Lucas de Grassi
in last.
All the way down in 18th position, yeah, behind Eduardo Mortara.
You know, and the fact that it was a safety car restart, it took away a chance for de Grassi to make a move. And look at Evans going through turn 7, pushing Jean-Eric Verne. Evans has got nothing to lose. He's an outsider for the championship at best.
Oliver Rowland just had a little bit of a lock-up coming into the left-hander at turn 7.
Attack mode activation zone is open.
So twice a race, the drivers have to take a power boost for 4 minutes. And they've all got 2 remaining at the moment, naturally. Evans is looking really quite feisty on the back of Verne. It's a 25 kilowatt power boost to 225, a 12% increase in power for those 4 minutes. Here we go then, on board with Mitch Evans into turn 1.
Watch how steep the hill is as they come out of 1, heading down all the way down to 3 through the sweeps of turn 2. This is the point where you get your most bang for your buck when you're lifting and regenning.
Pulling away a little bit from the Nissan of Sebastian Buemi. The Nissan has been very quick in qualifying over the course of the year, but maybe doesn't have the race pace. Then everyone's queuing up as well behind Pascal Wehrlein. He's a bit of a moving roadblock at the moment in 4th spot.
Does that mean some damage from the, is he carrying over some damage from that first lap incident?
Yeah, potentially. He got a bit of a nerf up the back, didn't he? And they can't, you know, replace the floor during the red flag. Quite enough time for that.
Grassi's still at the back.
No progress made yet, you're right, from Lucas de Grassi in 18th place. Although,
if you're de Grassi, do you want to just use attack mode just now when the field is close together and start trying to pass some people?
Evans and Verne pulling away.
Listen how hard the cars bottom out on the straight, just coming over the start line.
The chicane again.
Out over the finish line. That's when the race will finish. Different spot than the start line. Down the hill through the turn 1 hairpin. Evans is right there.
Through the avenue of trees. Evans giving his readings.
Oh, bit of a block from Verne already.
He's really making Verne think about it, isn't it? 37.5 minutes to go. Evans is looking very racy.
de Grassi using fan boost.
No, he's being awarded it.
Sorry.
Daniel Abt as well, getting the fan boost. Also Sebastian Buemi. But look how close Mitch Evans is as they come down towards the hairpin at 7. Da Costa covers the inside. Verne covers the inside. Da Costa and Van Dorn, the other 2 drivers, to get the fan boost.
Evans is right there, Jack. He's got his set up for the move. How aggressive will he be into 9? This is a good passing spot. No, he's lifting and coasting a little bit.
Lotterer is under investigation for ignoring pit exit lights.
Maybe when they had the nose earlier, when he went in the, it looked like he went in the pits and went back out with the nose damage after the first lap. Yellow flag. We've got it. Where's the yellow? Oh, it's been taken in already.
Yeah, maybe he went in and then realised he couldn't be in, and then there was a red light at the end of the pit lane, but he went through it potentially.
If you missed that fan boost announcement, the 5 winning drivers are Stoffel Van Dorn, Antonio Felix da Costa, Sebastian Buemi, Daniel Abt, and Lucas de Grassi.
So in Rome, Jaguar, James Barclay's Jaguar, took their first ever victory in Formula E as Mitch Evans overtook a Techeetah, and here he comes now looking to the outside.
That's a hard place to go around the outside and pass. I think this next sector of track out of turn 6, they're going to go up a steep hill now. You're sort of setting up, being as close as you possibly can. This camera does not do this hill justice. But this next corner coming out of here right on the gearbox of Jean-Eric Verne with a head of steam and try and make the pass into turn 7.
Now Verne does not want to waste energy fighting, and he knows that Lucas de Grassi will be a long way down the order, his main title rival.
Can Evans get Verne offline?
He is right with him. Do either of them take attack mode? No, I thought Evans might have done that.
I don't know why he's so slow.
I don't know why he's so slow.
It's a good feeling to have as a driver when you're questioning why everybody's going so slowly around you. It means you're doing something right. He's close, he's close.
This is Alexander Sims.
Maybe this is a yellow flag.
Oh, whoa! Eduardo Mortara flying in there and getting Sims a bit of a bump. Sims has now dropped quite a long way back, so it looks like the BMW has been taken out a little bit.
Yeah, that would explain the yellow flag that we saw very briefly.
Here are the two race leaders, nose to tail still. Buemi third, dropping back a little. Wehrlein fourth, Gunter fifth. Still no change in the rest of the top 10.
The danger for Evans is he gets kind of lulled into driving at Jean-Eric Vergne's pace. He doesn't, you don't want to get into the rhythm of the car in front of you. You want to sort of stay agile and get ready to make that move when it counts.
Buemi's 1.2 seconds behind them.
He's just not a factor at this point. Is he going to make a lunge? The thing is, a lot of these moves will be low percentage moves for Mitch Evans. He's not in the championship fight, as you would say, but you don't just do stupid, moves that don't have a chance. And he's just a little bit. You just look at the DS, the Cheetah pulling away just slightly. Covering the inside again.
Usable energy remaining. They're both on 79% at the moment. Actually, Evans looks as though he's about 0.5% up on Jean-Eric Vergne at the moment. Stoffel Van Dorn has got past Jose Maria Lopez and up into 13th position. Still, De Grassi is in 16th place, not really making a huge amount of progress.
Tom Dillman went into attack mode and set fast lap of the race thus far, but he will not take the bonus point unless he finishes in the top 10. Jerome D'Ambrosio also in attack mode.
Here they come down the hill.
De Grassi up to 16th at this point.
I don't think he's actually over. They've got past the Neos. Sims got hit off. Here's a look at on board with De Grassi in the replay, bottom right. That was his view of. Oh, and that was Van Dorn fighting. No, sorry, that's Paffett fighting with Lopez. So that was Lopez and Paffett side by side, and De Grassi almost managed to get through. But up at the front, no change.
It's one thing being quicker than the car in front, but you've got to be quicker at the right spots to make that overtaking maneuver.
Vergne, Evans, Buemi, now there. Alex Lynn, the first. Well, he's not the first actually to go through attack mode, is he?
D'Ambrosio behind him has done it. And so he's just covering him, isn't he? He's just going defensive, using that extra power, trying to avoid
so getting past. Lynn and D'Ambrosio are in attack mode, and Andre Lotter in front is not. We're on board again with Mitch Evans. So at 2 points on the track, there's a Jaguar trying to get past it to Cheetah. This one's for the lead. Then it's Buemi who's starting to get reeled in, I feel, a little bit by Pascal Wehrlein behind.
Maxi Günther, P5, he's done a very good job just keeping his nose clean, staying up there. Evans doesn't want to show Jean-Eric Vergne where he's got the advantage, where he's thinking about making the move. I mean, it's fairly obvious he's going to try in 7 and 9, but he might be able to surprise him at another spot later in the race. Down to the lowest part of the track, up at turn 6 now. Got up there through past the bear pit. If anything, Vergne's getting away just a little bit.
If you're Evans, can you afford, you were talking about low percentage moves earlier on, can you afford to just chuck one in and know that Vergne will get out of the way?
Nah, he might not see you. That's the problem. If you do it so late when he's focused, and somebody else going to one of the bird, Sam Bird, yep, going to attack mode activation. No, because if he's focused on a braking zone, he's not going to be looking in his mirrors expecting you to come tearing down the inside, take both guys out. And Vergne's I wonder if Evans is wondering why everybody's so slow now, or why Vergne's so slow, because he's just started to gap the Jaguar ahead.
D'Ambrosio has been given a drive-through penalty for causing a collision, so that will be the start incident, a drive-through penalty for Jerome D'Ambrosio. And that's a harsh one here. That's going to cost him an awful lot of time. He's currently running in 10th place, the final of the points-paying positions. We've got 30 minutes plus 1 lap to go as they drop down the hill once more. This is the 10th lap of the race, but it's a timed lap. Evans is dropping back a little. There goes Bird to the outside. This is a risky one.
He's done it.
Oh, what a move from Sam Bird. Past Maxi Gunter around the outside at turn 3. When he fancies it, he can pull off a move and a half.
Yes, good boy. Right, eyes forward, eyes forward.
Eyes forward might be Stephen Lane's catchphrase here. This was, look at that, a little bit of a nudge as they come into 3. But that's not putting Bird off.
That was big. I wonder if the Dragon was saving a little bit of energy. Let's hear.
So Bird gets the run, looks to the outside a little bit later on the brakes.
That was a mighty move. Full bravery for Sam Bird.
Now Evans is dropping back from Bird.
Yes.
And is Buemi going quicker that last lap? Yeah, he was 0.3 quicker on that last lap. There's confirmation of Jerome D'Ambrosio's drive-through penalty. De Grassi and Da Costa are the two drivers in attack mode at the moment. Here's a look at De Grassi, on board with him behind Gary Paffett.
That's a problem for Paffett, it looked like.
Did they nudge at the corner? I couldn't quite make it out, but Paffett has dropped behind Lucas De Grassi now and Antonio Felix Da Costa.
It wasn't a situation, again, we saw it before, I think in Hong Kong, where one guy hit the other behind and he hit the pit lane speed limiter and jammed it on. It almost looked like that. Massa locking up, going into turn 3.
It's stopped. D'Ambrosio is into the pits now to serve his drive-through penalty. That's why he's dropping down the order on the left-hand side. Evans has got more usable energy than Jean-Eric Verne, so he's going slower. Meanwhile, in attack mode is Pascal Wehrlein in 4th place, trying to get past Sebastian Buemi. And also behind, Sam Bird is in attack mode as well. And as a result, pulling to the inside goes Buemi to activate his attack mode. So 4 minutes remaining for Buemi.
So Massa go through attack mode as well.
And also Jose Maria Lopez.
He's got De Grassi right with him.
Can De Grassi get it coming into turn 7? No, not quite. Cross the line in with.
Being so aggressive, Jack. You heard De Grassi hit the curb. It's not what you want to do because the wheels are up in the air. You can't get the power down. You see Lopez heading off. Now, the car's hitting the ground there. That can do damage to the powertrain, to some of the cables, some of the connectors, any of that sort of stuff. Be very careful how hard and for how long you hit those bumps.
Paffett has just pitted, so I wonder if he picked up a puncture. I felt like there was a nudge at the corner, but I couldn't really, the sort of picture broke up at the same moment. So
sounded like there was, didn't there?
Yeah. So we'll wait and see, because that could be trouble for De Grassi if, you know, the stewards deem it to be similar-esque to Bird versus Lotterer in Hong Kong.
Van Dorn up to 11th, just outside the points.
27 minutes and 20 seconds, plus 1 lap remaining. Race leader Jean-Eric
we've got to move. The Mahindra looks like it's slowed. Yeah.
Through goes Bird.
You would say, though, that Wehrlein has an issue.
Yeah, because he has. Wehrlein's got a problem. Pascal Wehrlein in the red, white and blue Mahindra pulls to the outside of the corner. And he is in big, big trouble and effectively out of the race as he ground to a halt there as well. I think he might have lost all power there.
I would say it's a yellow flag. We're certainly going to have a... Would we have a safety car? We're going to focus.
Maybe.
It's in a dangerous position. Look at
if he's totally lost drive, then that may well be the case. So that means Bird is now up to 4th place behind Sebastian Buemi. Yellow flag is out at turn 8. But
Evans is back there.
Right back together.
Evans 6/10 quicker that last lap.
As he saved a bit of energy and then wound it up.
He's using attack mode. He's using attack mode. Has he got him? Look at... No, not quite enough.
Oh, Mitch Evans pushing so hard to try and get through.
3 minutes to go in attack mode. If you're Byrne, you've got the Mahindra outside of the corner right before attack mode. Is he gone?
6, not the inside. Oh,
squeezed.
That would have been a brave one.
I think I can see Byrne going to attack mode this lap.
He has to, doesn't he? But is it going to be too late? Evans.
Now we've got a yellow flag coming up just past this next corner because of the Mahindra. Is it still there?
Yeah.
Yep, there we go.
Double waved yellows.
Yep, so he's on the right side of the track anyway. Just stay over there and use attack mode. Yep, there you go.
Evans goes to try and get the overlap on the inside. Coming up into turn 9. By the Laubeg school there on the...
That got a whole lot more difficult, Jack.
Right-hand side, it certainly did, and Evans will be thinking, was that my opportunity?
He moved pretty late into 6.
He moved pretty late into 6.
This is race control, this is race control. Full course yellow in 5.
Full course yellow coming.
3, 2, 1. Full course yellow, full course yellow.
Full course yellow deployed.
94 car from turn 8.
Down to pace car speed.
And there is Pascal Wehrlein.
I wonder if that was some of the damage, residual damage from that first lap incident.
Here's a replay with Bird. That's Wehrlein in front. He's looking pretty loose there, isn't he?
The light.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tail light went out.
Yeah. Love to see an onboard from Wehrlein, see what happened. Oh, Bird's thinking is, oh, another one down.
Yeah.
Let's get the next guy. Was it Stephen Lay says? Eyes front?
Eyes front. Eyes forward.
Eyes forward.
Yeah. And there was Wehrlein creeping to a halt. Of turn 8.
And all the people.
They all nearly went into the back of him. Golly.
That was close. And all the people who used attack mode and who still had attack mode to go is going to get bled out during this. And we see the people all done now, though.
That was Sylvain Philippe, Managing Director of Envision Virgin Racing. Now, what the race director can decide to do is use Jean-Eric Vergne as a safety car to bunch the rest of the pack up. Now, that's entirely up to Scott Elkins. He can either decide to do it or not decide to do it, whatever he fancies, whether he feels like he's had enough stress for one day or whether he feels like he wants to get stuck in again.
What do you think about the turn 6-ing? I mean, it was pretty late, but...
I know he wasn't asking me.
Yeah, we're talking with Scott.
Okay. Dario Franchitti, racing driver, thoughts?
He's not really a passing spot.
No, he wasn't really alongside.
He wasn't really. But the trees were blocking some of the view, but I didn't look like Mitch was fully alongside.
Racing driver thoughts. It's an oxymoron, isn't it?
Pretty much.
23 minutes and 20 seconds to go. They've moved Wehrlein's car pretty much out of the way now, so that's good. Here we are with Degrassi. Bit of flappage on the back of Roland in front. So Degrassi's now in the 12th place. He's working his way into the points, but Vergne is still leading.
And Roland's attack mode is just bleeding away. Let's see. This is up to 7.
Yeah, this is into turn 7. It was the corner before that Mitch Evans was complaining about. Oh, a little bit of a nudge. Nothing too dramatic.
No, he did it a couple of times during the race.
And again, it was just the corner before that Evans was complaining about.
Well, Evans almost brushed the wall, but no. That looked okay. As you say, it's turn 6. It was the corner before under the trees.
There's James Barkley.
He's probably on the phone now to Scott Elkins. Scott Elkins must have to recharge his battery on his cell phone quite a lot during the race. I wonder if he's got a regen system on it.
So as it stands, with 22 minutes to go, Jean-Eric Vergne would have 133 points at the top of the championship. Degrassi would still be second, even though he's not scoring anything at the moment, with 96. That would be a massive margin for Vergne to take into the final 2 races in New York City, Bob.
37 points with just 58 still on the table.
Whoa.
25 for the win, 3 for a pole, 1 for a fast lap.
Yeah, again, if that happens, it's out of Degrassi's hands almost, isn't it? Vergne has to have 2 bad days to allow Degrassi back into the picture.
Right, it's like last year when Sam Bird was trying to chase down Jean-Eric Vergne. Wasn't able to get it done, and in the first race of the doubleheader in New York, Vergne clinched.
Another bear. The bears are so cool.
Attention all cars, this is race control. Attention all cars, this is race control. Full course yellow ending in 5.
Okay, so we're not bunching up, we're going back
3,
racing.
2, 1. Green flag, green flag.
Green flag. Racing begins again. Here at the Swiss E-Prix in Bern. Daniel Abt is looking fairly racy behind Maxi Gunter. He's got Andre Lotterer, the aggressive German, behind him in the black and gold Techeetah. Then it's Lynn, then it's Massa, then it's Van Dorn completing the top 10. But once again, it's nose to tail for the lead of the race. But Costa might have just got past Jose Maria Lopez on the restart and up into 13th spot. 21 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Look how close they are.
Yeah, Degrassi's right with Roland, and Evans is right with Vergne again.
Abt goes for attack mode.
And all those following him are doing the same thing, it looks like.
Look how close Evans is. He's got proper pace in this Jaguar.
Unbelievable.
We're on board with him now. The chicane coming up next.
Or very believable, should I say. Look at the bumps again. I'm not sure that going into the chicane at 12.13 is the safest place to make a move.
What evidence do you have for that? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the start.
But again, you're going to have to catch Jean-Eric Vergne by surprise. And with the safety, with the full course yellow, that means there's less regeneration going on to make the end of the race. So there's less chance he's going to be lifting and coasting a lot.
They are still doing a little bit though there, Jean-Eric Vergne. You can hear the throttle drop off. Here's Evans.
Jeff's 1% down on us.
They're saying Jev's 1% down on us, Jean-Eric Vergne, so that still means that still suggests that they think it's going to be something of an issue. Buemi's now 8 tenths behind the top two, and Bird has got great pace actually. He's managed to catch up to the back of the leading train.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Started in 6th place, he's made an overtake on Maxi Gunter, and he's pulled away from the Dragon driver, the youngest man on the grid, age 21, and now this man, Sam Bird, not the youngest man on the grid, not the oldest man on the grid. 32 now.
Maxi Gunter went through attack mode as well to protect himself from Daniel Abt behind him, who did the same thing the lap before. Yeah, the wheel spin as he go over the crown of the road and hit the curve with Sam Bird.
There's Gunter in the white and black Dragon running in 5th place. That would match his best ever Formula E finish.
Degrassi is right there on Oliver Rowland, and Oliver Rowland's not afraid to get his elbows out and be aggressive. Doesn't care who's behind him or in front of him.
At the same time,
he's a tough racer.
Yeah, a surprising lack of race pace though today for Oliver Rowland. Look at Van Dorn, he's made up 5 places in the course of the race so far to be in 10th place, but his teammate Buemi's in 3rd. Rowland has been stellar in his first season of Formula E, but hasn't quite got it hooked up today. Qualified well down in 13th, and
which is not, as you say, not like him at all, Jack.
No. Those are the drivers that have fan boost, and that is how long remaining in attack mode for Maxi Gunter and Daniel Abt.
DaCosta set fast lap, and I don't think he wasn't in attack mode. No, just a really quick lap.
Bit of a queue forming behind Jean-Eric Vergne. Bear in mind that the slower Vergne, the more Vergne can slow things down, the less distance he's going to have to cover in the race. You know, the last thing you want to do is cross the finish line with a second to go. Then you've got another 2 laps to do rather than just 1.
Evans is committed to his next attack mode fairly early with 18 minutes plus 1 lap to go.
Wow, that's punchy, yep.
He's gone for it, and he's now basically got a lap to try and get the move done on Jean-Eric Vergne before Vergne can activate his attack mode in response, and he's closing in as they come over the crest down into the chicane. He's got a couple of corners here, Mitch Evans, if he wants to make the move. On board we go with the Kiwi.
Can he do that move down into outside of turn 3 that we saw Sam Bird carry earlier on?
Fastest lap of the race goes to Mitch Evans that last time around. He's right underneath the rear wing of the DS Techeetah of Vergne.
He's gaining, but is it enough?
Evans looks to the outside.
Now, just not enough.
Now he was strong up into 6. He's going to get a very good drive out of there.
This is where attack mode really counts. That extra 25 kilowatts of power. Has he got enough?
He's having to come off the throttle.
Round
looks to the outside at turn 6, but that's not going to work out either. Can he get one more run coming into the hairpin left-hander at turn 7? Vergne knows he's there. Evans thinks about the dummy.
Just not enough. The attack mode activation zone is the exit of this next corner.
And Vergne surely will sweep across and activate attack mode, which he does. And so does Sebastian Buemi and Sam Bird behind. Maxi Gunter's already in it, but Vergne holds off that attack from Mitch Evans for now.
Crikey, it's all happening.
Andre Lotterer just picked up attack mode for the very first time, and Alexander Sims has yet to use his first.
Lotterer is doing a great job. Just trying to make his way up the field, but Vergne is doing an even better job of just keeping everything calm at the front under intense pressure from Mitch Evans.
The top 5 then have all used their attack mode. Daniel Abt is looking a little bit pretty here. Sitting pretty, I think, is the appropriate phrase. Because he still has 1 attack mode remaining, and he's right on the back, pretty much, of Maxi Gunter. But actually, it's not looking great, because Andre Lotterer in the black and gold DS Techeetah is on the attack and a little bit out of shape and locking up. Managed to get his stop, though, and in. but Abt is going to be the last driver of the top 6 that has an attack mode remaining.
See how much the halos are glowing. The lights going away from us a little bit, but I think it'll be light for another couple hours. But just the drivers, especially as they go below the trees, they're all wearing dark visors.
Abt with a lockup.
Yeah, but
just about got away with it.
Yeah, can Lotterer make the cut back on him though?
Abt doesn't go for the attack mode. So Lotterer therefore gets the outside line coming into 9. Oh, late on the brakes, lovely.
Wow.
Decisive stuff from Andre Lotterer, and he is now up into 6th position.
Lotterer flicking the car through that 9, 10, 11 sequence of corners.
Lucas de Grassi in 11th place, has an attack mode remaining, but he's 3 seconds back from Stoffel van Dorn in the HWA. Fastest lap of the race, pinged in by Jean-Eric Verne. They're both in attack mode, and the difficulty for Evans is that once he's out of attack mode, Verne's will be continuing, so he'll get another lap.
As will Buemi to close that gap up.
Oh, that's very true. That's very true. And Bird coming with him too. Fastest lap. This is a look at Lucas de Grassi, how he got past Oliver Rowland on the inset there. Looking to the inside, coming into turn 7. Obrigado.
Rowland was kind of, you know, I'd expect a bigger defence from Oliver Rowland. Maybe he just doesn't have the pace in the car. Maybe there's something wrong with it.
So de Grassi up into 11th spot now.
Lotterer is all over the back of Maxi Gunter, and he makes a move. Wow. That's a proper overtaking manoeuvre.
5th place now then for Andre Lotterer. Started this race in 8th place, did the DS Techeetah driver, the man who's trying to fight Jean-Eric Verne for the championship, but as it stands, Verne's going to take a big old haul of points going into the final 2 rounds in New York City, which will be coming up later in the year, the 13th and 14th of July, for the final races of the season in the ABB FIA Formula E Championship. Then it all starts again in November.
13 minutes plus a lap.
We're on board with Sam Bird as he drops down the hill now. Right up behind Buemi. So Evans now is out of attack mode. And as a result, Verne's got 1.2 seconds on him. Verne has flown forwards. How long do Bird and Buemi have left on attack mode? Is it going to be enough to try and make a move on Mitch Evans? Da Costa is under investigation for a full course yellow infringement, perhaps over speeding. I don't think Buemi's going to have enough. He's only got 10 seconds left at the end. Pretty close to the back of Evans, but I don't think it'll be...
Not enough, I would say.
So...
Last 5 seconds of attack for Buemi.
That was Josep Roca telling Mitch Evans that those were the last 5 seconds of attack mode for Buemi, and he is now out of attack mode. So Verne has a 1.1 second lead over Mitch Evans, half a second back to Buemi, 0.6 back to Bird, 1.8 back to Andre Lotterer in 5th place.
That's what happens. You see the gap between Verne and Evans. That's what happens if like Evans, you take the attack mode a lap early and you don't get past the guy.
That's what I was just thinking, that because Evans effectively uses attack mode because he's got no clear air, doesn't gain anything from it.
You cannot waste it. There you go. That is what happens when you waste it. And he looks like he's closing down again on Verne. He looks like his race pace is a little bit quicker. He had to do it. He had to try that and try and get the sort of undercut on attack mode, but just didn't manage to take advantage of it. And it's no easy thing to pass Jean-Eric Verne on this type of circuit.
11 minutes plus 1 lap to go. They were predicting storms today, Bob.
Well, and you're not going to want to hear this, but as I look at the radar, there is a sizable storm cell bearing down on us from the north. It may not get here in the next, what do we have left, about 11 minutes. It might well be here for the podium ceremony.
Sam Bird have a problem. He ran a bit wide in turn 6. I'll tell you what, if it comes for 2 laps to go, that would be quite interesting.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
Andre Lotterer has got 5% more usable energy than Jean-Eric Verne, than Mitch Evans, a bit more than Buemi. Oh, goodness.
There it is.
There's the shower.
That's rain.
It's that close.
That's the Young Boys Stadium there. That is the expo where the cars are housed, and then this is the racetrack down here. That is very close. Bob Varsha, man of all talents, meteorology.
Master of none.
Again, listen to these cars bottom out, coming over that hill.
shedding Michelin rubber on the way.
Yeah, second, third, fourth, nose to tail.
So
Lotterer's joining the party as well in fifth.
Yeah, Bird dropped back, but now has really rejoined the back of Buemi.
And Nick Heidfeld said it in Berlin. The last person you want to see in your mirrors is Sam Bird, because you know he's going to have a go at you. He can brake impossibly late.
We've already seen what he did to Maxi Gunter earlier on. Minutes to go, plus 1 lap. Alex Lynn is in his attack mode, and he is only 2/10 behind Daniel Abt. But Abt does still have an attack mode remaining, so it's now or never for Alex Lynn, really, to get into 7th place. Here's Evans on the radio.
Buemi's limited on battery temp. I think they are worse than us.
Interesting. Buemi's limited on battery temperature. Now that's a bit of a... It's not that hot here.
Yeah, but it's the downhills, Jack. Those big, steep downhills with the regeneration, the amount of you can regenerate down there puts a tremendous amount of strain on the regeneration of the battery system.
So that explains why Sam Bird is right behind. I'm interested to know how they know that.
Jack, I probably heard the radio. Andre Lostra last lap was 7/10 quicker than Sam Bird ahead of him.
Wow.
He's getting there in a hurry.
Yeah. He certainly is. Here's Alex Lynn then in that battle I was talking about a moment ago with, he's in 8th place, but Daniel Abt has taken the attack mode now, so Lynn couldn't quite take the advantage when he had attack mode, and he's stuck up behind Daniel Abt at the moment in 7th spot. So Lotterer is closing in because of all that extra energy he has. Here comes the black and gold DS Techeetah car, swinging through now. Then it's a bit of a gap back to Maxi Gunter, then it's Abt and Lynn.
Daniel Abt's driving for his drive. You know, he's not confirmed at Audi for next season. He's got to do some big performances.
So's Alex Lynn.
So Alex Lynn at Jaguar, exactly. He's in the shop window at the moment.
8.5 minutes plus a lap to go. Pascal Wehrlein is under investigation for incidents at turn 12 and 13. That may well be the star of the race. Here's Lotterer. Here from Andre Lotterer then, but we did 8 minutes to go. They're probably saying that he's got 1 attack mode left as well. So he's got all this energy, and he's got an attack mode. Buemi's on his fan boost. He's in 3rd spot at the moment. Can he try and get Mitch Evans into 2nd place? Not quite close enough to do so. Interesting place to use it, coming out of the hill there, in towards the chicane, because it's not really an overtaking spot. Buemi used his fan boost, wasn't able to get it done, so he's still in 3rd position, with Bird behind in 4th.
Just looking at the usable energy left, the Grassy looked, he's struggling. He's got a lot less than Van Dorn ahead of him, which is going to make catching and passing Stoffel Van Dorn pretty difficult, I would say.
So look at Lotterer, he's got 28% usable energy. Bird's got 24%. Lotterer is pretty much going to be flat out to the flag now, with 7.5 minutes plus 1 lap to go, and he's got an attack mode remaining. So certainly 4th place has to be on his radar. Any higher than that is just so tough to overtake. But there's potential here for Lotterer. Wehrlein, no further action after investigation. Very happy with that, because he was very unfortunate down at the 1st corner. With the right-hander of 8.
Consider using attack mode.
Consider using attack mode. He's still 8/10 back. I think you want to be a bit closer, don't you?
Yeah, has he
no,
gone in? Yeah, he's right there. I would have said 1 more lap, but I'm not driving the car. And look how he flicks the car through 9, 10, 11. And it just gains him so much time. You see, DaCosta has gone through attack mode as well.
So Lucas de Grassi is the Grassi, Sims and Paffett, for what it's worth, the only drivers with an attack mode remaining. So this is Lotterer's chance now to get past Bird. These two with history after Hong Kong, where Bird hit Lotterer out of the lead of the race. Oh, and there's a little nudge to say, thank you very much, I'm coming now. And Abt is looking strong behind Gunter. He's got half a minute left of attack mode to try and get that 6th spot.
Almost looks like Buemi is kind of holding Bird up a little bit, which makes him even more open to attack from Lotterer behind.
So Verne now, 0.8 of a second ahead of Mitch Evans. Then it's 7/10 back to Buemi, 6/10 back to Bird, 3/10 only back to Andre Lotterer, up the hill through 6.
This is where it'll happen, exit of 6. Is he close enough? No.
Bird covers, but all of a sudden he's looking in his mirrors rather than in front.
Yeah, 2 more corners. Lotterer's got another chance at Bird going into 9th.
Temperature dropping, wind starting to come in. Rain on the
Here's
way.
Lotterer.
Lotterer to the outside, coming towards turn 9. Bird will hold the inside, try and be later on the brakes. Lock up from Lotterer. Bird has it for now.
Bird is able to brake so late. To go around his outside, you're asking a lot.
Here they come again, down the start straight. Bird again will cover the inside line. Lotterer will be just looking for one mistake, and he's got another. He's got a good lap and a half on Bird in attack mode. So he'll get another run into turn 7, possibly another run into turn 9, definitely another run coming down the hill here towards turn 3, right up towards the wall, using all of the road. Can Lotterer find a way past? It could be crucial for his title hopes here.
Yeah, and it's harder to do now because there'll be really no regeneration. There'll be no sort of lifting and coasting, shall we say. There'll be regening, but not lifting and coasting, so it's harder to make those passes, to get alongside and get that overlap.
Up the hill on the streets of this beautiful city of Bern in the 11th round of the ABB FIA Formula E Championship. Just 2 to go after this in New York City. Verne leading the way. His teammate Lotterer wants to try and chase him down in the championship. It's the mistake from Bird. Lotterer finds the inside, and he's up into 4th position, and Bird will kick himself for that. A little lock-up coming into turn 7, and Lotterer now has his eyes set on Sebastian Buemi for 3rd place.
1 minute, 8 seconds left of attack mode for Andre Lotterer. He's got to get the head down, get after Buemi, get onto the podium.
What a drive this would be from Lotterer if he could get up to the back of Sebastian Buemi and maybe past him. This was the replay on board, and Bird just made the error.
Bird went across the bumpy part where they've taken away the centre reservation of the crosswalk, and I wonder if that caused some of the lock-up.
And Lotterer was quick to jump on it.
Yes, he was, wasn't he?
Almost as though he knew it was coming.
Didn't need asking twice. Sylvain Filippi, managing director of the Envision Virgin Racing team. That is the Tachita gang. And look at this, Lotterer's right on the back of Buemi. He might get a run into 7. I think he might just be too far back.
And maybe to 7. Well, up this hill, he's going to have a lot more. He's at 12% more power than the car in front. So close the gap quite quickly with that amount of extra power.
Bird coming under a bit of pressure from Maxi Günther. Here they come, down towards 7. Lotterer's not quite going to have enough, but can he now just do it in raw speed? Look how much usable energy he's got left compared to the others. 3 minutes plus 1 lap to go.
And a fabulous job by Maxi Günther in 6th place.
Yeah. Good stuff from Günther. Bird has suddenly dropped way off the back of the drivers in front.
De Grassi's in 10th, he's got a point.
Managed to get past Stoffel Van Dorn then.
And he's right behind Felipe Massa, who's in 9th.
So De Grassi might be able to get up to 2, but even then it's still going to be a huge swing in favour of Jean-Eric Verne if he can hold on ahead of Mitch Evans and wrap up the win in the Swiss E-Prix. Lotterer behind Buemi.
Rain, slight rain turn 1, slight rain turn 1.
Oh, slight rain at turn 1. With
you called it, Dario. 2 minutes to go.
2 minutes plus a lap to go. Now, these drivers don't have to change tyres. These are all-weather Michelin tyres.
But Verne is the first person, the championship leader, first guy to hit these new conditions.
And look how close Evans is to the back of him at the same time.
So Verne's gone into the completely unknown now, Jack. He's never driven on this surface with rain. The other guys can judge themselves off him, but he's got nobody to judge himself. He can outbrake himself quite easily.
1.5 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Light rain at turn 1 is the report.
It looked like it was kind of down the hill as well.
Look, it's coming down here. You can see it here. Spots on the camera lens. How heavy is this shower going to be? Will it just be a few spits and spots?
Well, the helicopter's still up. What we saw in the distance, that didn't look like a few spits and spots. And you see Lotterer just catching again. Verne backing everybody up.
Evans is right with Verne. And Evans, not really in championship contention, wants to take a win.
His 2nd one of the season. There you go, wet. There's the slippery surface flag, so it's raining here.
And Verne's covering the inside line. What a tense final 2 laps we're going to have. This is going to be the penultimate lap of the race that they're starting now with the rain coming down onto the brakes into turn 1. This is where the drivers are tested, and it's a really good run through. You can see the umbrellas are up in the grandstands, and Verne is ahead of Mitch Evans, and Evans can sense the win.
He can definitely taste blood in the water, but look how wet the surface is.
Oh, they're all out of shape, coming down into 3. Verne covers the inside and holds on for the moment.
Oh, he's made a mistake, yep. Each one of those painted lines is like ice, and they're trying to put the power down and brake and turn. Okay.
So sketchy coming up the hill through the left-hander of turn 6 now, with no idea how much grip is out there. The penultimate lap of the race, the top 4
Look
right
for Evans.
together. Into 7, it's pouring down.
Oh. Here comes Lotter as well.
Looking.
Look at the amount of rain.
Oh, it is chucking it down. And the top 4, Verne, Evans, Buemi, Lotterer, any of them can win. Can Buemi wrestle somehow a victory in his home race away?
And these guys are making adjustments to the brake balance, trying to get the car to stop in the wet. It's different than in the dry. They're making all these adjustments inside as well.
Evans gets a good drive out of the left-hander of turn 11. Down towards the chicane once again.
As they come into 1, look at the amount of painted surfaces that they're having to contend with. They come through 12, 13 steeply downhill into 1.
And look at the nerves.
Nobody can believe it.
Inside the garages. Final lap of the 2019 Swiss E-Prix. James Barkley, the manager of the Jaguar team, is getting a bit stressed.
He's not the only one.
Down into turns 3 and 4 again. The rain looks like it's just slightly eased down here, but the track is still going to be a bit greasy.
Just a touch, I would say, Jack.
That last lap, they were doing 1:30s.
About 10 seconds off fastest lap.
Is Evans going to fancy it on this final lap of the race?
Verne looks a bit more confident at this point of the track than he was the lap before.
But this is where it got all rainy, coming up into turn 7, and it is still pretty rainy. Yeah. Evans thinks about it, Buemi's laid on the brakes. Lotterer's going to nudge the back of the Swiss. There aren't many more overtaking spots.
Verne makes a lovely exit out of 8. This is probably Evans' last go. Look how wet it is, look at the spray.
It's chucking it down into turn 9. Oh, I thought Lotterer was gone. Just about managed to keep it together. There's only one more chance now for Evans. He lights up the rears and Bird almost bins it, keeps it together. But Evans' bad traction out of 11 surely has handed it to Verne. Just the chicane to go.
This is relatively dry.
Buemi is covering the inside line from Lotterer. Verne is going to hold on. Lotterer hits Buemi, but out of the final corner, there's the checkered flag, and there's the win for Jean-Eric Verne and DS Techeetah. What a wonderful win in Bern.
Jeff, mega Jeff. FP2, box pist lap, FP2, no crossing region paddle.
Jeff, you're a king.
Mega work.
Incredible race.
Mega work is the message from Pascal Tortosa. Evans in second place, Buemi third.
That was a hard win. Nice fitting, wow. At the end, the rain was, hard to say, being first.
Yeah, the rain was interesting at the end of the race. There's no doubt about that. A race winner, Jean-Eric Verne.
Third win of the season.
Let's chat to him. Jean-Eric Verne is Dario. Congratulations. That got a little bit interesting with a couple of laps to go.
Thank you, Dario. Yeah, it was a hell of a race. I mean, it was complicated at the beginning. It was pushing really hard, and then I had a bit of free room, and then the rain. I guess I was very cautious. I knew that the guys in the championship were behind, so I mean, I wanted to finish second and in the wall, so that's why I took it very easy. But I'm very, very, very happy with this win.
Yeah, you definitely put the pressure on Lucas today with this incredible result, and you handled the pressure like a champion. Well done.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
So Jean-Eric Verne, the winner. Mark Preston, the team principal of the DS Techeetah squad. And that will massively extend Jean-Eric Verne's advantage at the top of the championship. Here's a look at Lucas de Grassi and Felipe Massa. Oh, Massa squeezed him into the wall there. That is not compatriotism.
Well, Massa was looking in the mirror the whole way down the straight to the right, so he knew he was there.
Massa's learning the Formula E rules, isn't he?
I wonder if they'd had a bit of a moment beforehand.
Actually, he left him enough room.
Okay. I'm never going to race him with you, Jack.
I don't think we'd ever be together on the track. And look, this was Bird almost pinning it. Evans, that's where Evans couldn't get it done, and then Bird right at the last.
He hit the curb coming out of 11, and that spun the wheels up. Wow.
Victory for Jean-Eric Vergne after a thrilling race in Bern.
Well, I said at the beginning of the race when we had the big accident and the long red flag, the poor suffering fans waiting for action. Boy, did they get their money's worth at the end.
Did they ever?
Moly.
I thought it was funny. We were sitting here talking about the race, and Bob pulls his phone out and starts looking at the app for the weather. This look comes on his face. Wow. Yeah.
But no one suffered with the rain, actually. From what I could tell, from what we saw, everyone, struggled, but actually no one made a move, no one binned it. It was good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, massively difficult conditions. That was quite something.
Xavier Mestelin on the left-hand side there for the DS Techeetah team, and he is with Edmund Chu, the president of Techeetah. There's the applause for Mitch Evans, and there is Jean-Eric Vergne, stamping his authority on this 2018-19 Formula E Championship season. That's 3 podiums in a row. It's 3 wins for the season, and only 2 races to go in New York City.
And a Swiss on the podium.
Yep.
In Sebastian Buemi.
His second podium of the season, consecutively.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nissan have really turned things around, haven't they?
Yeah.
The last 2 laps, huh? Oh, it was so scary.
Apologies for the language there. That's Mitch Evans for you. You might notice we never really hear his team radio. It's because he's a potty mouth. But there's Jean-Eric Vergne on top of his car, on top of the Techeetah, and the reigning champion, after a struggle at the start of the season, looks to be well back in control of the championship.
Got to be careful when you hug a racing driver with his helmet on. You could wind up with a concussion.
Have you done it?
I have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when my son raced.
Ah. I don't think I've ever hugged a racing driver.
Apart from Robin Frank.
Helmet on or off. Apart from I've never hugged Robin. Never hugged Robin.
Sam Bird.
Have we ever hugged?
No.
Okay, cool.
Sam Bird, P5. Got to be happy with that.
Yeah.
Last 3 races.
It just gets him back on the wagon, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, really.
Here's a look at our provisional results. Jean-Eric Vergne, as mentioned, 3rd win of the year and a stout lead in the championship now. Mitch Evans fought hard, wound up a well-deserved 2nd. Sebastian Buemi puts the home team on the podium in 3rd. Then Andre Lauderer, it was right there at the end. Sam Bird, who nearly threw it away, drove hard and comes home 5th. Maxi Gunther, Daniel App, Alex Lynn, Felipe Massa, and Lucas de Grassi, the point-scoring finishers. There's 11th through 22nd. Down at the bottom, poor Robin Freins. His race promised so much, but ended before it began. Four drivers did not see the checkered flag. Oliver Rowland, Pascal Wehrlein, Eduardo Mortara, and Robin Freins.
Did we see what happened to Rowland? Remind me. I don't think we did.
We saw him dropping down the field, I think.
He wasn't having a good one, but didn't see him retire, as it were.
Time to hear from our winner. Georgie Barrett is there, so let's go to her now.
Jean-Eric Vergne, it may be raining. Oh, and you're choking, but you're on fire at the moment. Congratulations. 3rd win of the season, 3rd consecutive podium. You must be feeling delighted.
Yeah, I'm actually really tired now. I think I need a week of rest. With Le Mans last weekend, simulator straight away on the Monday to prepare this race. I'm so glad with the result. The guys worked so well, and couldn't get any better today. And the end with the rain was really stressful, and I had to be careful. I'd rather finish 2nd than in the wall for the championship. So I was, of course, trying to win the race, but also being extra cautious.
And now you've got a 32-point lead in the championship. It's looking pretty tasty for you.
I mean, you know, nothing is won in Formula E. We need to keep working hard. But 32 points is, yeah, I mean, it's really good, and I think I have more than last year, and it's good. Who is behind?
I don't know.
Okay, good.
To be seen, to be confirmed. I think it's still Lucas. Lotterer. Mitch, let's come to you, second place. That was an exciting race to watch. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm sure it was exciting. It was exciting from the cockpit. We had a really fast car today in the race, so I couldn't find a way by, especially with there was no time loss with the attack mode activation today, which I think saved him. Yeah, I mean our pace was rapid, and I was had a lot of up our sleeve in case I got into clean air. But what a great race! You know, congrats to Jev and the whole DS Techeetah team. I want to congratulate my boys. They've been working so hard. Thank you so much. But what a crazy race. The last few laps were absolutely on the edge with the rain. And it was actually a lot slipperier than what it probably looked on TV. So, yeah, it was classic racing. And just, yeah, it had something to spice it up at the end. So, yeah, it was a good race. And hopefully we can continue this into New York now.
Brilliant. Go enjoy the podium. Seb, come over here. Third place, home race. You must be delighted.
Yeah. I mean, to have a podium at home, it's amazing. I could hear the fans, you know, saying my name. So it was an amazing feeling. My family is here, so I'm really happy. You know, it would have been a shame not to step on the podium, especially if we don't know that, you know, normally not coming back next year.
Brilliant. Well, go and enjoy the podium. Thank you.
So Jean-Eric Verne victorious, and with that, he wins the Voestalpine European Races Award for the most podiums over the course of the European stretch in ABB FIA Formula E.
Two victories and a third-place finish. It's hard to top that. And I believe that's the 6th consecutive race with at least one podium for DS Techeetah.
Wow.
Be tough to beat.
They're strong. Well, everyone thought at the start of the season, didn't they? They would be the team to beat.
Right.
At Diriyah, their pace looked outrageous.
Yes, it did.
Like a disgrace, like in a good way. So I don't really know why I used the word disgrace. But it just didn't quite work out. But now they've hit their form, and they're pretty much unbeatable. You're absolutely right. It was Hong Kong the last time that they didn't get a podium. But Andre Lotterer was in the lead and got illegally punted off from that one, you know. So even then, it could have been even more.
Well, as the rain falls on the Old Town in Bern, here's another look at the provisional results of the race. Jean-Eric Verne, Mitch Evans, and Sebastian Buemi on the podium. Andre Lotterer, in answer to his teammate's question, is now second of the championship, returning the favor that Lucas de Grassi dealt him in Berlin in the most recent round by knocking the German out of the runner-up position. Sam Bird 5th, Maxi Gunther 6th, Daniel Abt, Len Massa, and de Grassi in the points. Then Stoffel Van Dorn, Antonio Felix da Costa, Jose Maria Lopez, Alexander Sims, Jerome D'Ambrosio, Tom Dillman, Oliver Turvey, Gary Patten, and then the drivers who did not finish: Oliver Rowland, Pascal Wehrlein, Eduardo Mortara, and Robin Freitz. And so I predicted the standings would take a pummeling. That was probably overstated, but there have been important changes. Jean-Eric Verne is now the dominant leader, hoping to become the first two-time Formula E and first back-to-back Formula E champion, but there's still a lot of racing to go. Andre Lotterer now second. Lucas de Grassi drops to third. Mitch Evans up into fourth. Antonio Felix da Costa down to fifth. Robin Freitz loses a spot, drops to sixth. Then Sebastian Buemi, Daniel Abt, Sam Bird down in ninth. Jerome D'Ambrosio down to 10th. And then Oliver Rowland in 11th. And keep in mind, this affects the order in which the drivers will go out in qualifying for our final weekend in New York City. So a lot of questions remain as we get set to head for the Big Apple in just a couple of weeks. How about the Teams Championship? Well, you know who's up top right now. DS Techeetah was hanging on, and now they have a 58-point lead over Audi Sport Abt Schaeffler. Envision Virgin Racing remains in third. Nissan Edams up into fourth. Mahindra Racing in 5th, and then BMW I Andretti. While the crowd hung around through the long wait under the red flag, and finally under heavy showers. It looks like it's probably still dripping out there. You see umbrellas as they begin to head home, or perhaps to the next event of the evening. Appears the rain is done. Blue sky beginning to poke through.
That was a lovely little splash, actually, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Just a nice little shower, hasn't ruined anyone's day.
Yep. 2 laps to go, just like I called it.
Yeah, a little
And I'm looking forward to the podium ceremony down there in the Turn 3-4 complex, right next to the Allianz E-Village. But right now, here are the highlights of a dramatic and eventful race with Jack.
So, the start of the Bern race, the Swiss E-Prix, was always going to be a tricky one, coming through a tight chicane. It was a slow start, actually, for Mitch Evans, who ended up finishing the race strongly. Almost lost out to Sebastian Buemi, but the chaos came behind. Pascal Wehrlein was in the wall. Robin Freitz was sent spinning. Both Mahindras involved on that opening lap. And that brought out the red flag. There's a look again. Freitz sideways, and then Wehrlein squeezed into the wall by Sebastian Buemi in front. This was Fritz's view. Bump. Nothing he can do, really. And there was the carnage unfolding. Lucas de Grassi made it through and looked as though he was going to be up into 8th place when the red flag was deployed. He was very excited about that, but then he was told he'd be starting at the back again. Wasn't very happy about that. Alan McNish made a phone call. Jean-Eric Vergne was chilled. Then the racing got back underway after a bit of a delay. Still with Vergne leading, Evans second, and those two embarked on a duel for the lead that would last for the entirety of the race. Evans had some good opportunities to pass, but in the end, none were quite clear-cut enough. This was a close one up into the left-hander of turn 3. Eduardo Mortara came steaming in to wipe out Alexander Sims. Still, the leading duo dueled. Buemi was running in 3rd. Pascal Wehrlein was running in 4th place. Sam Bird made a great move round the outside of Maxi Gunter, coming down into turn 3. Probably the best overtake of the race. Lucas de Grassi got a hit. He managed to overtake Gary Paffett, who ended up with a problem and dropping all the way back down to 18th. Bird then overtook Wehrlein because Wehrlein had broken down. This was the minor moment that Evans thought he had the inside but didn't. Thought Vergne was a bit harsh there, but it turns out that he was not. Lotterer was carving his way through the order, having started in 8th place on the grid. He was romping up the field past Daniel Abt. Evans went for it again. The outside of turn 3 was not an appropriate overtaking opportunity. Neither was the outside of turn 6. He had a few corners to get it done, but couldn't get past the DS Techeetah car in front before Vergne could then activate his attack mode. And then came the rain. The fans didn't know it, but soon they would need to put their brollies up. Andre Lotterer pouncing on a mistake from Sam Bird to take 4th place away. And then when the rain came, Evans was all over the back of the DS Techeetah in front once again. A little bit of a nudge there at turn 7 as it started to come down pretty heavy. Who's the best Brazilian? Massa held on, and overall Jean-Eric Vergne held on to take his 3rd win of the season in a winning margin of just a 1/10 of a second. And the DS Techeetah team now looking pretty in control of both championships, as for the 3rd time this season, Jean-Eric Vergne is the race winner on the streets of Bern and the Swiss E-Prix.
No question about it. A dominant performance by Diaz Techeetah. And as you pointed out, Jack, at the beginning of the season in Saudi Arabia at Diriyah, they were just going great guns. I mean, even with drive-through penalties to both drivers, Jean-Eric Vergne came back to finish second behind Antonio Felix da Costa, and Andre Lauderer was fourth, as I recall. And we saw that they had the speed. But bear this in mind, we still have a couple of races to go. 58 points to distribute.
Yeah.
On the driver's side alone. There's Sam Bird reliving the day with our friend Sam Smith from eRacing365.com. As the driver's day ends,
Bird got the fastest lap point.
Yes, he did. Oh, wait a minute.
Because the fastest lap went to da Costa, but he was outside.
But he was outside the top 10, so.
Top 10.
Yeah, we had a laugh about it. It wasn't intentional at the start. It's an amazing track. Really cool. And if we were to come back here.
And yeah, so frustration for, well, frustration for, I don't know, he's had a good day. In general, he's had a good day.
Now let's join Georgie Barrett.
James Barkley from Panasonic Jaguar Racing. You must be delighted with that result. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat. How are you feeling towards the end of the race?
Yeah, that was nerve-wracking, right? Mitch had amazing pace. So the early part of the race, you know, we honestly were going for the win. And so, yeah, obviously got to be really pleased. You know, Mitch now fourth in the Drivers' Championship. An incredibly close race. And we put a lot of pressure on Jean-Eric Vergne and the Techeetah team, but they held on. They were difficult to pass, but we've got to be pleased with P2. Maybe a win just slipped through our fingers today.
How are you going to move ahead to the race in New York, the double header?
Yeah, I think we're hitting a great vein of form now, right? Off the win in Rome and the follow-up podium here. So we go into New York looking for a win, and I'm just so proud of the team. You know, we yet again showing we're consistently one of the quickest teams, and Mitch showing he's a real title contender still. So we couldn't be more happy, and just take that energy into New York.
Absolutely. Enjoy celebrations tonight.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Mitch Evans has got a shot at second in the championship, I reckon. He'll be right up there now with your Franz, da Costa, maybe not quite Lauderer, but de Grassi in there as well. So I think he's got a shot.
And it's interesting, as James Barkley related, Jaguar is really coming on form, and that's a form they've been looking for a long time, which has to have a huge knock-on effect to the entire team. Both the morale of the guys in the pit lane now, the creation of next year's race car and driveline components, sponsor possibilities, driver possibilities. Story of this season from the perspective of Panasonic Jaguar.
So if you haven't
worth reading.
Sorry, if you haven't got 72 points, we think you're out of the reckoning. So Vergne, Lauderer, de Grassi are all in it. So Buemi and Abt are still marginally in contention, but not really. So that means that Bird is out of, well, this is going to be interesting. De Grassi is going to be very unhappy. All the way back to that start incident. I get why, for sure, but the letter of the regulation feels like forever we're having a discussion about the letter of the law and the spirit of the law. There's Scott Elkins and Pedro Della Rosa accosting him. I'm not sure what they're not going to be unhappy with him, are they?
I would think not. I would think that's why he's talking to them. Because
yeah.
I'm sure Dieter Gass and Lucas de Grassi have something to say. Well, let's go to the podium for the happy times.
The Mark Preston. Representative of the winning team, Diaz Techeetah.
So the team principal of Diaz Techeetah, Mark Preston, up onto the winning step on the podium.
He's been doing this a long time at a very high level. I think the thing I like most about Mark Preston is that he really seems to enjoy his racing.
Yeah, it certainly does. And there is his trophy. Handed out to him. That one's going to mean a lot. It was Bernhard Holder, the CEO of the Julius Baer Bank, that hands out the trophy. Sebastian Buemi, look at the smile on his face. He's out of championship contention. He'll think it's absurd that he hasn't managed to win a race this year, but on the podium at his home race with the boy.
His little boy.
That's not a bad day for the Swiss. Third place, there you go.
Peter Moser, Verwaltungsratspräsident und CEO for the ABB.
Peter Vosser, the chairman and CEO of ABB, hands the trophy to the third place.
Second place, als next, the zweite Platz.
New chairman and CEO, I do believe.
Mitch Evans worked hard. It's only his second podium of the season. He's had a fantastically consistent year. Bar Paris and Berlin, he's been on the podium he's been in the points every time. And now he picks up his second podium of the season. Handshakes with everyone. And Evans has been super impressive since he joined Formula E. It's the second place trophy handed by Christoph Ammann, President of the Government Council of the Canton of Bern.
And finally, join me in congratulating the winner of
But this man now, he'll have two hands on this winner's trophy as he got one hand on the championship trophy. Jean-Eric Verne, for the third time this season, climbs up the steps and soaks in the applause as he soaked up the pressure in the soaking rain.
Well, we've talked about it before. Jean-Eric Verne has been through quite an evolution, I guess is the right word, since he entered Formula E very early on in the championship.
And there's Reto Naus, member of the Executive Council of the city of Bern, handing over the victory, the winner's trophy. Mark Preston on the left, Sebastian Buemi and his son Jules. Mitch Evans second, but it's the Frenchman on the top step, Jean-Eric Verne, for the third time this season, and the strong championship leader. Now the Chinese national anthem for the DS Tachita squad as they take their third win of the season as well and move well in the lead of the team's championship with a first and a fourth on Bern. Applause for the national anthems. Now they will do the selfie.
To show you were all here.
Finish my point about Jean-Eric Verne, and Dario has talked about it often. He used to be like a race car that would be described as fast but fragile. He put up a lap time but could never quite close the deal. And he was not shy about showing his emotions when he was frustrated. But he's become much more level-headed, much more analytical in his racing while keeping that basic speed. And now he is the man.
Let's celebrate 40 mit uns, die drei. auf dem Podest.
Certainly is. The champagne is sprayed on the podium in Bern. Great performance from Jean-Eric Verne. Just 2 races to go in the 2018-19 ABB FIA Formula E Championship. We've been waiting months for someone to take control of this championship. Months! But now it looks as though that man, finally, is Jean-Eric Verne. And Verne's been the man telling us for most of the year no one's going to take charge of this championship.
Well, I'd say someone has taken charge now. Doesn't mean he's going to win it. A lot of racing still to be done. But it'll be fun to watch. And we hope you'll join us in New York City for the final 2 races of the season.
Now he's going in there to cause trouble. Oh, I think Keith Smout just fell over. Keith Smout, he's not getting any younger, and now he's had a fall as well.
Yep. Canada-based marketing chief for the team.
Oh, I haven't been happier to see someone fall over in a long time. I want that clipped up as a GIF, and I'm going to send it to him. That's brilliant stuff. Maybe a slow motion replay as well. Hugs all around. Edmund Chu, the president, saying, let's do a picture on the podium.
Got to get the whole team.
And if you want to hear Jeff's very brief response, I presume that's going on the Techeetah Instagram page. As he climbs back up onto the top step. So much to dissect from that race. And you wonder whether, you know, the Degrassi and the angry folk, you know, will they look at the incident in question and then be like, yeah, you know what, those are the rules.
Yeah.
Or am I giving drivers too much credit? Let's go down and find out all the latest reaction as we throw it back to Vernon Kay.
Thank you, Jack. I'm here with Sam. Sam, you've got to be happy with that race.
Yeah, it's better, guys. Look, I've had a...
It is better because, look, Dario, he's smiling. We've not seen that for a while.
God, no. I mean, that has been a while. What has it been? Three more months?
All right. No. I haven't actually seen you in the last 3 months, so I've had a bit of a difficult spell. We haven't scored many points recently, so hopefully this is the start of a turnaround. There's many things to work on that I'm not particularly happy about currently with our car.
Things you can talk about?
No. But, look, I believe in this team. I think it's a fantastic team, regardless of the blip that I've been having and we've had on this side. But we scored some good points, fastest lap, and a nice move.
Let's talk about the race. The conditions out there were, at first, perfect. A little bit warm, but absolutely perfect. Then towards the end, the drama just built and built and built, Dario. I mean, in the commentary booth, these guys, they were loving it so much, mainly from Dario's racing experience. But was it as treacherous as it looked?
Yeah, I nearly plonked it sideways on the second last corner.
We saw that.
Yeah, but I caught it. So I got a little bit too much on the curb, and I didn't realise the curb was going to be that slippery. And I got on the power. I had some inside wheel spin, and then it gripped and sent me around, and I had to quickly sort of gather the steering wheel somehow and hope that I could keep in a straight line.
It looked like one of those moves that you try when you're learning to drive, you know, and you think you are a racing driver. Well, I'm not a learner.
It was all the recovery, Sam. It was absolutely. But exactly. you said yesterday that the team has struggled because you're a customer team. And you've got an Audi powertrain in the car, you're struggling, you don't get as much testing as the other teams, I mean, a fraction of it. How do you overcome that?
It's really difficult because we've got the equipment, that's great. Audi supply a mega powertrain. However, to be able to utilize it at its best in terms of getting the right setup and getting the right tire pressure and maximizing all the little things that everybody else is doing, perfecting the software, we lack that because we don't have those days of testing, we don't have the filming days, so that's tough for us.
How does that translate, though, in the team performance? Because, like you say, you've got a lot of people to talk about it with. You've got a lot of experience within the team. But also, we've noticed that the Audi guys do keep flitting between the actual Audi team and your team. So how does that information translate? How does it get switched across?
Yeah, all the information gets shared. It's a great relationship. However, when it comes to car setup, tyre pressures, stuff like that, there's no sharing, and that's the kind of thing that is difficult. You know, to set up in a race car is so vital.
All right, New York coming up, 2 races. What can we expect?
I've had 53 points there before. I'll have to get more than that.
Did you see that smile then, Dario?
Again, the confidence.
Yeah, smiles back, so beware, everybody.
No, that's good. Well, quickly, before you leave, let's talk about the championship. Obviously, Jev, another victory here, his 3rd podium in a row. Do you think it's game over? He's clinched the title?
No, I'm not in the fight, so I think you'd be a brave man to bet against him now. I think he's done a great job, and he's certainly looking set. However, the fight for third's looking tasty.
All right, thank you very much, Sam.
Yes,
Show us one more time. Show us one more time. There it is. There he is. There he is. All right. A very happy man.
He wouldn't talk to you on the grid. I forgot to ask him about that. He was all
Well, he was
grumpy.
focused. He was in his zone. He knew he had a job to do.
He said his engineer was talking, but that's like, no, I'm sorry, I'm on another call. That's the equivalent of what he said to you.
Could have put him on hold, though. All right, let's go over to Georgie, who's with Andre Lotterer.
Andre Lotterer, well done. You managed to get to 4th position. Talk us through your race.
Yeah, it was a crazy race. At the beginning, I wasn't expecting that it's possible to overtake, but then when I activated attack mode, made the most use out of it, and I had a quick car, so I had fun out there. Would have loved the podium. I think I should have sent it inside Bohemi, but yeah, it's tricky. We were really packed together, and it's easy to overdo it, so I came pretty well through the field till there and just brought it home.
Well, you are now 2nd in the Driver Championship, so congratulations. What were your thoughts going into New York?
Yeah, I have good thoughts. I know I have a quick car and a good team, so the only problem is my teammate won, and he has quite a big lead. So let's see. It's for him to lose, basically, and I need to go get my first win as well.
How tough were the conditions when it started raining? Because we were on the edge of our seats watching that stuff.
Yeah, I bet it was great for you guys for the show. Well, you know, in Formula E we have these all-weather tires, so we can survive well in these conditions, but we go and we have no idea how much grip we have, so we kind of brake and try to figure it out. So that's why in hindsight I think I could have sent it in the inside, but yeah, you're never sure.
Yeah, you came out unscathed. Enjoy New York.
Dario, let's talk about the race. We've had some time to celebrate with a handful of the drivers, but let's reflect now on the actual race itself. It started off swimmingly until we got to the first chicane. Just talk us through what you saw, and was anyone to blame?
So you mean basically you got to the first corner?
Yeah.
We had that big traffic jam at the first corner.
But we've seen it many times in Formula E, haven't we? When it's a tight circuit, we always seem to get backed up.
Yeah, it goes from sort of 3 wide, 3 cars widths wide. It went down to 2. Everybody's on their own program, trying to stay out of trouble, but still trying to make some places up. And it really was nobody's fault there. We had the 2 situations. We had the one situation in the middle of the corner. Then we had Robin Freins getting spun as well. That, I would have to say, was probably Jerome D'Ambrosio's fault. He hit him pretty hard.
The rear of his car, Freins' car, is atrocious. He hit him with such velocity, such speed, it's torn half the wheel off.
It's a lot of force, and that's when that happens. Freins is a passenger. Nothing he could have done differently.
Are there any unwritten racing rules where, say, when it gets to a situation like that, you should really relinquish your position and just kind of hope that kind of situation doesn't happen?
Yeah, it's so much easier at the front because there's less going on. When you get back sort of 6th or 7th back, it's all bets are off. Everybody's just trying to stay out of trouble. They're trying to gain a little bit, but rule number 1, just try and stay out of trouble. But everybody's on their own plan, and then we saw the result.
So subsequently, the result was we go back to the pit, and then it literally explodes like the most vicious game of Chinese whispers you've ever played. And in the middle of it was Lucas de Grassi, who was being pushed and nudged and egged on by one Stoffel van Dorn. And you said in commentary that that's what happens. It takes one driver to light the blue touch paper, and off it goes.
And then one just keeps putting a little petrol on, and then they'll wind each other up, and we saw the result. And the poor officials sitting there going, hang on a minute, I'm just trying to do this. And then every driver's got an opinion, and they're all used to in their teams being listened to. And when a driver speaks, everybody's quiet. And of course, they're all speaking at the same time, and the official's trying to sort it out. And we saw the result. And it's a serious business, but in a lot of ways, it was a little bit comical when you see them all sort of shouting at the official, and the poor official's just trying to do his job.
You said you've been there. You've been in that position, that situation, many, many times where you thought you knew the rules. The FIA made a decision. Was it the correct decision?
It's difficult, and over the term of doing this job, I've learned not to criticise the officials because they know a lot more than I do about it. I thought they did make the right call there. It was the fairest way of doing it today. What they did, they didn't get to that first timeline. Therefore, that was the only way. A couple of guys felt aggrieved, Lucas obviously being one of them, but it was definitely the fairest way. And that's what the rule said, which is ultimately what it comes down to.
And it was very good that Jack did actually read out the rule, which therefore clarified the situation that the FIA had then placed all the cars in the same order as they were before they set off, because they hadn't crossed that one most important timing line,
which was on the exit of turn 5. So Jack got the rule out there, and the FIA applied it perfectly. So that, yeah, there's no discussion.
Let's talk about the challenge at the front of the race. Jean-Eric Vergne, we know he's calmed down last couple of seasons. He's always been aggressive. He's had his own temperament, shall we say, but he seems to have found himself now once he gets behind the car, sat in the car behind the steering wheel. What a race, what a defence from Mitch Evans, because Mitch was literally going for it, even though he's got nothing to drive for.
Mitch said something about 3 or 4 laps into the race. He said something like, why is he going so slowly? When you're in the car and you're driving that and you think, well, why is everybody going so slowly? That's when you know you've got a fast car and you're just in that rhythm. And I thought at that point, if you're Jean-Eric Vergne, you've got to watch, because he's coming after you. And there was a point where Jean-Eric pulled away a little bit. Mitch came right back at him and kept him under pressure all day. But Jean-Eric Vergne, even when the rain came down, didn't crack. There was not a hint of a mistake in there. And that was the drive of a champion.
That's what makes him so successful. And it was interesting what you say. We saw Mitch back off a lot, because I think what Mitch was thinking was, if I can regen, and he's keeping defending at the pace that he's defending, and my car is quicker, like he said verbally over the team radio, then I will have the opportunity at some point to go for it. And he did when he put himself in attack mode, but just didn't get there in time. Yeah, he tried several times.
He really didn't. He tried that sort of undercut and going into attack mode first of all, but Jean-Eric, he played it like a champion. He had the championship on the line as well. It's not just about the race win today for him, it's about the championship and not throwing that away. That makes what he did even more impressive, and he's put a lot of pressure on now Lucas Di Grassi. Obviously Lostra is now second in the championship, but he's taken, I think he's put everything in his, he controls the destiny of the championship now. If he doesn't make a mistake, it's going to be very difficult to beat Jean-Eric Vergne.
The rain came down, as predicted by our very own Bob Varsha, who I think has got a sideline in meteorology. So I doff my cap, Bob, to you. It came down, and you said that Jev was driving on uncharted territory. What did you mean by that? Because he was obviously leading the pack, but what did you mean by he's on uncharted territory? And how do the drivers observe? Is it like, because it must have happened so quick?
So, as the field approaches the rain, we knew it was starting to rain in turn 1. The first person to approach it is Jean-Eric Vergne. He's got nobody ahead of him to gauge from, so he's coming into this slippery surface. He doesn't know how much grip's available, doesn't know where to brake, doesn't know where to turn, doesn't know what's going to happen. The guys behind him, they can sit there and go, well, if Jean-Eric brakes there and he goes off, I'll just brake a little bit earlier, so they can afford to sort of take it a bit easy and gauge themselves from him. So a very difficult position.
Those reactions must come really quick, though. If you see Jev's car flicker a little bit, you think, oh, I'm not going to go there, because this was a really bumpy track and in the rain as well.
Yeah, and going down into turn 1, there was all those painted surfaces and the cycle lane and everything. So he was up against it, and he put the car where it needed to be. He made no mistakes. There wasn't any big lockups. Cracking.
Let's talk about Sebastian Buemi, because he's not had a victory for 2 years, but a consistent driver. And I think this Nissan car next year, they'll come up with something that will have to replace the dual motors at the back, but they're going to be testing and they're going to come up with another fantastic product. Do you think he'll get a win either in New York or next season?
It's entirely possible. Sebastian's always in there fighting, isn't he? And the Nissan has been quick. Look at the amount of pole positions it's had this year with both Sebastian Buemi, Oliver Rowland. So they're constantly in the fight, aren't they? And if you up there every week, the win's going to come. The qualifying performance is probably slightly better than the race performance, but I was happy to see him get a podium today in his home race.
They're a good pairing as well, aren't they? Those two, they really are.
They are. They're completely different, I think, personalities, but you've got the young driver, the old driver. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to go. So we move on to New York. It's going to be fantastic. The championship is on the line. Will Jev lift the trophy of the championship in New York?
Turn me up, I can tell you what it is, but I can feel the danger, I can feel the danger, recognize.
Very, very quick, lights out, round the outside, slap. Well done, mate. Victory for Da Costa and BMW.
I can feel the danger, synchronize.
The Frenchman on top of the podium.
you.